Alrighty. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. Thank you for being here. We're hopping back into the land of Skyrim. We're gonna pick up where we left off last week on the Dawnguard DLC. See if we can blaze our way all the way through the end of it. We'll see. Maybe today, maybe we'll have to add another week. I want to get this finished up before we go back to the main campaign, just so we have some closure there. The main campaign is something that I feel like you can always go back to. Kind of underlines the whole game. But it just would feel weird if we came back halfway through Dawnguard, way down the line, waited till next Halloween. We're gonna work on finishing it today. Also, what was I thinking? So yeah, we might have another week of it, but hopefully we'll get at least close today to finishing the Dawnguard DLC. Hello there, PB. And I'm also dressed up today for election week. We got that election day coming up here tomorrow in the United States. If you're there, doing this to encourage everyone to go out and vote. We still have another full day. It's very important. Opportunity to share your voice is a right that not a lot of people have. Absolutely crucial to make use of it. But even more importantly, it is important to, it is crucial to make sure that you know what you're voting for. So, today is a great day, so a whole another day before voting comes up to take some time to really dig into what who you're going to end up voting for in the end, so you can make the best decision. Now, without further ado, let us hop into the land of Tamriel. Hope everyone's doing well today. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone again for... Oh, come on. Just loading it up. So perfect. Saw the black when I switched over. Okay. Technical difficulties wouldn't be a live stream without them. Yeah, thank you again, everyone, for your patience with the streams last week, the weird schedule, the decreased volume of time spent live. It very much helped in, I had my Stace week for, some people have, I've kind of tried to avoid giving as much detail as I can for the sake of the safety of the people I work for and their privacy. But some people have already mentioned that I teach marching band. There we go. PB just said the same thing. So I can't really get out of that one. People know that now, but at least avoid saying where I teach at. But it does give me the opportunity to be a little specific and saying that we had our state finals this last weekend. We did a very good job. I got the highest score you can get overall. In the specific subsection I teach, percussion, I got the highest score they possibly could. A lot of that was possible because I was able to be present to them, to give the kids the time that they needed. And I'm so proud of them. And again, so grateful to y'all for your patience in helping make that possible. And yes, I am aware that you saw me there, PB. I did not actually see you. It was a very busy day, very hectic. Uh-oh. Problems here. I'm not getting volume. How about here? Let me figure that out. I don't know why that didn't work. Come on. Okay. Let's get at some point. There we go. All good. It wasn't just you who said I worked for Marching Band PB. It's been a bunch of people, and it's been a while. It's really up to me to tell people, more so than y'all to fully figure out on your own. It is what it is at this point. It's not like, there's a lot of people watching me right now. I just want to be careful long term. I'll probably be moved on from that, doing that in my life by the time I get to the place where there could be, there's a large volume of people watching me, and there's really any danger of straight up psychos doing that. But when you work with kids, it's just try to be as abundantly safe as I can. So we're just gonna not say where I work, and we'll stick with that. But yeah, so once again I appreciate everyone for that. They did a great job. Oh, a vampire scout! Oh no! I don't even take these guys seriously anymore. Let's be honest. I'm not even wearing heavy armor, which is what I'm specialized in right now. Oh, destroyed by the power of Doggo. Yes. our faithful companion, Slong. Well, these guys are apparently getting fairly close to figuring out where the Dawnguard are. I did not mean to pick up whatever I picked up there. A weapon, I think. Yeah, I definitely do not need that. But yeah, so where we're hopping back into the story here, we are about halfway through the Dawnguard questline. We have found out about their acquiring of an Elder Scroll, and we are on, on a mission to. Well, actually, we already found the Elder Scroll, and we read it, and we know that they are, the vampires are looking for a weapon called Ariel's Bow. They can use it to make the world an eternal night. And we obviously do not want that to happen. So, we are on a mission to, let's see, what specifically are we doing? We find a couple more Elder Scrolls, that's right. In order to get access to the location of Ariel's Bow. It's been a week. It's been a long week. I need to get my head back into the game of Skyrim. Okay, so we need to speak to Serana and find the Elder Scrolls. So that not everyone dies. So we are, in the middle of another quest line as well, of course. Oh, thank you for following. We never going to die. We very much appreciate you being here. Hope that you are enjoying the live stream. Would love to get to know you. Yeah, so the Dragonborn is in the middle of kind of being split two ways over the matter of the Elder Scrolls, these ancient artifacts that contain ungodly power, essentially. No one really knows where they came from or has full knowledge of what they're capable of. But generally, we at least know that they contain very potent information about things crucial to Providence in the land of Tamriel. And so the dragons, who are currently laying waste to the land of Skyrim, were once defeated, or are being led by a dragon named Alduin, who was once defeated using knowledge contained within one of the Elder Scrolls. So we're trying to find that. And then on the other hand, in the middle of all that going on, alright, there's just so much. Everyone is talking right now. Very chatty townspeople. So in the middle of all that, the vampires in the land of Skyrim are also getting very close to taking over the entire world, also via the use of an Elder Scroll. Or at least this quest also involves the Elder Scroll in kind of the opposite direction. The vampires want the scroll. However, we want it as well, just like with the dragons, because if we can find that information first, it may just help us to defeat them as well. So, the one that Dragonborn has prioritized right now, whether in your hand cannon he would do this or not, it's fine. Really can take it either way. I think it is honestly more fair to say that he probably would prioritize the dragons, with, the literal end of the world over a more figurative one where the vampires take over. But because it was Halloween, we decided to kind of throw this in there in the middle. I'm thinking. So yeah, in your headcanon, this can come after or in between the main quest. Maybe he decided that the vampires were closer to accomplishing their goals than the dragons were. Or that he had more time to figure the latter one out. He was more confident in his ability to take on the dragons. Whatever you want to think, absolutely fine by me. But right now we're trying to catch up with Serana, who is heading to the location of one of the Elder Scrolls. I think. Anyways, let's see. I only see one Elder Scroll marked on here, and that's actually the one for the main quest line. So it seems like really the only way to get to the other one is going to be to catch up with Serana. So hop on our trusty steed named Glue and get on that. Except what is going on here? This is like, it's the troll party. What are they up to? Normally I would want to like take them on for the sake of, oh, well I guess we are, for the sake of the good of Skyrim. But I don't have a companion with me. I don't want Slong to die. Make it ugly. Come on. Let us be more wise with our weapon choice here. Switch over to the heavy armor. Bring out the shield. Alright. Come on, boys. So what were they fighting? Because I see 3 other dots over there. No matter what, it can't be good. Right, be careful, Slime. Don't die on me. Tools are quite potent, but I think I have an idea. There we go. Why do they have so much health? Are they regenning it? I thought trolls were susceptible to fire. Hold on. For some reason it's registering my left click before my letting go of my right click. I don't know what's going on there, but we're just gonna have to take these guys down one at a time. Oh, good gracious. A bear. Of course there's a bear. Oh, he's fighting the trolls too. Okay, that will actually help us. This is going to be an interesting fight, given just how little damage we're doing to these guys. Another idea, though. Very good. The game has been wise enough to make dogs unkillable, and I appreciate that. Alright, what do we need? Healing, minor healing, stamina, generation, something to help us do more damage. Poison the Warhammer too. There we go. Now. They really messed up that bear, apparently. We are faster than them, so we have time to do this. Honestly, don't know how much health I steal from them, but apparently I do a little. They also regen health in the absence of me fighting them directly, apparently. Not good. Alright. So they are going to win this if we don't find a way to do more damage quickly without getting blocked. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to favorite stamina potions. Beat the crap out of them. There we go. Oh man. Okay. Well, remember what I said about not having the companion making this a difficult fight? I was not wrong. And thankfully, I don't think we're going to have to deal with that twice, because that was not my intent for how to start this day. Come on, Snarling. Let's try this again. I never meant to fight those guys, but my manly pride told me I had to try. I can, however, put it aside for the sake of not being caught in a slogfest live, because it's just not fun to watch. So, everyone watching, what did we do for Halloween? What did we go as? Oh! Speaking of spontaneous fights that come out of nowhere. Hello there! I see how it is, game. Desperately don't want me to get to the main quest line. Leave my good boy alone. We all saw me equip the shield, didn't we? Did we not? I just did it again. There we go. Come to Poppy. Weirdly enough, a dragon is going to be a lot easier to fight than 3 trolls. Come on. I'm the daddy, baby girl. There we go. Cancel his shout out. Uh-oh, I angered a bear. Accidentally, apparently. Thankfully, he also angered the guards, so... And the bear may not be on his side. That is possible. Oh, he's almost dead. Heck yeah. Yep, the bear was not on his side, so... He got destroyed. So just keep that in mind in terms of power balance, right? Bear apparently beats dragon. And troll beats bear. So before you think about judging me for what happened with those trolls, just remember that power scaling. There they are again. The buggers. Yeah, I really want nothing to do with them right now, if I'm going to be honest. And they want something to do with me, though. So I'm just going to run up to the guards again and let them help me out.
It may be dead now. Where did it come from?
It may be dead now, but where did...
I wonder where it came from. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you, game. At least I won't be if we can cap these trolls. They're running away now. Oh, that's because the guards are aggroed. Heck yeah. Now it is a fair fight. Don't touch my dog. Oh, he's getting destroyed. Look at this. Who are you?
Take this and hold on to it. I'll be back for it later. Are you good? Don't lose it.
Nope.
I'll kill you. I feel it.
Nice. He just got toasted. I don't think he even had time to, like, hand it to me. But yeah, that guy, he stole a, I've had that one before. It's like a random pop quest where he steals an item from a random adventurer and then tries to get away with it by hiding with you, and you can choose which side you want to be on. So those hunters are chasing that elk. What is going on here right now? Like, so there's a hunter chasing the elk. There's 3 trolls running around. A dragon. It's like,
You see someone run past just now.
yeah, he's dead. Oh, he did hand these to me. There we go.
Did you get this?
I wonder how long this guy will survive.
Never mind. Here. It's not much, but it's something.
Okay, well, I guess we get the boots now. There's just a couple adventurers, I don't know if they're bandits or what, that are attacking this troll after they were just chasing an elk. And before that, yeah, okay, Skyrim. Just everything happened at once. And how did one of these guys die? Did I, like, accidentally Fusar Dom to death? What killed this man? Did anyone in chat clock how this guy died? I have no idea. What? What the fuck? Skyrim! What is your deal today? He just spontaneously decided that now was his time. So yeah, I guess we just get the loot from all of those things. I wonder if that elk is still around somewhere. It is? So we get the elk too? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 random encounters, all happening to us at the exact same time. That's wild. Well, alrighty then. Guess it is what it is. 1 second here. I went as a police officer for Halloween, a sheriff to be specific. It was just the theme that all my friends and I were going with. One of them got a motorcycle, and so he wanted to go like 80s cops vibe. And so we hopped on with that. One of us went as Paul Blart. I went as a sheriff because I have a cowboy hat. I live in the country. Pretty natural crossover. Everyone thought I was Rick Grimes though, so by the end of the night, I was in fact Rick Grimes. Apparently more people have seen in their lives Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead than have seen a county sheriff. It is what it is. I guess, you know, that could be a good thing. I don't know. You can take that multiple ways. Yeah. Did anyone else go out watching the stream, go out to a Halloween party and dress up as something? Please don't tell me to stop shouting. Why is it making people nervous? Have you considered telling them to just, like, chill the fuck out? I can't run because I need these scales long term. You know, I don't need them long term. I would just go dragon hunt because I don't have a companion right now to carry those for me. So I'm just gonna have to leave those there. We have to catch up with Serana, who has doubtless gotten even bigger of a head start on us with all that was going on there. I guess we can stop and find Florentius on the way. Take that. Dead troll. I never saw... I guess there's probably the hunters back when we first encountered the trolls and they were fighting a bunch of people. I'm guessing it was the hunters that they came up against. Whoop. Wolves. Okay. One hit KO'd one. And Schlong took down the other one. Come here, wolf. You'll be beaten to death by my Schlong. What's in the trap? Is it a skeever?
Never should have come here.
Oh. Why are there vampires just with a cage in the middle of nowhere? Do they own the cage? Was it the hunter's cage? This is our 6th random encounter of the day, actually. Look at Schlong go! I didn't even, like, hit those two. Oh, I meant to Fusar it off. Oh, well. They gave me vampire herpes. Oh, man. I slit her throat with the shield. That is epic. Heck yeah. Alright, I have to cure my vampire herpes. I don't know why I used a healing potion. That was just impulse. I guess you never know when you've been jumped now 6 times in 30 minutes by random game encounters. So there's obviously a trap of some kind. I don't know if they're wolves or skeevers or what. That's closed. Oh, apparently these guys don't like me very much. Sorry, Slong. You shouldn't. Gotta get used to this whole I'm a Dragonborn thing. You sure? You never should have come here. They're just left well enough alone, Trapper. I wasn't trying to steal your stuff. I was just trying to figure out if you were in the business of trapping animals or people. Apparently it was animals, but yes, this was the fight they wanted to pick today. And it cost them. The lesson to be learned in that, kids. I see another wolf out there. I also haven't been counting wolves as random encounters, but if you do, then that makes this... what? 8? 8 random encounters? Did I loot all 3 of these guys already? Yeah. Horsey! Glue, where are you? Glue, please. Glue always abandons ship the second the going gets tough. Except when I want him to. Then he just runs like a million miles away. Just bash my face in that tree. Just fine. I still honestly don't have an answer for how those shouts work through like my steel helm that I'm wearing. Like if I cast Fire Breath, why do I not just immediately cook my face? I really don't know. Let it just be like a freaking whole horse shout. I'm gonna call a dragon later, at least. But, we ain't there yet, fellas. Alright. Chill. We chill. 8 random encounters. And now we're on our way to complete a quest we didn't set off on. But it is a nonetheless important one. Clarentius is a former member of the Dawnguard, who was kind of kicked out for being too eccentric, but right now we need all the help we can get, so we're tracking him back down. Convince him to come back. With the blessing of the leader of the Dawnguard currently. Who are vampire hunters, an extension of the vigilance of Stendar, the god of justice in the land of Tamriel. Apparently, he's in the caves here. Hopefully me wearing the Dawnguard armor will let him know who I am. On my way through here. Alright, so I didn't want to bore you all 3 in that all the way through. I can summarize that apparently the Vigilance of Stendar were up to excavating the site. Someone was had ideas about a certain ruin that we believe is the one we already explored. I want to look around for a second. Remind myself if it was. But Runevald, which is where we found Serana buried. Oh yes, it was up here, wasn't it? Oh, it was Dim Hollow. Okay, so I guess it's a different location in here. That is fairly relevant to Skyrim lore. At least we'll find out how soon enough. Midway through the excavation, or 14 days in, just noticed that who they were looking for didn't come back up. Or the people who went in didn't come back up. And finally, the last member went to investigate.
What was that? Someone there?
Uh-oh.
Over here.
I don't want to kill you. This is where I really wish Skyrim had a non-lethal option. It just doesn't make sense that there isn't either. But, sadly, there isn't. So, you're going to have to... Oh, man! This is
You call yourself
the penalty of, switching shouts to the run. Sometimes I forget to change back. I was gonna Fusroda him off the wall.
cannot best you.
Just you wish you would actually give up, but he never will. Gonna Fusroda him off, but just have to do that to this guy. I don't know where my dog is, who he's fighting, but he's off being a good boy, no doubt. You know what happened? Like we mentioned before, sometimes the game has your companion come in the back door of a place you enter instead of the front door. It's still really weird. It's a bug that's not only really weird, but it's confusing to me why they just never fixed it. But nonetheless, they never did. So here we are. No, I do regret now. I wonder if I had snuck in and killed the person responsible for the charming. We could have gotten away without killing. So that's what we're actually gonna try and do here now. Like if the charm will cease to be in effect. If take a stealthy approach. It is a shame to have to kill vigilance. Seems like the game is always beating up on them. They hardly ever get a good moment. It's really noble they are, right? Like they are one of the best people in Skyrim. People have devoted, or in the land of Tamriel in general, people have devoted their lives to selflessly serving others. Need. Without regard for politics or anything. I'm trying to do justice to that body, but there's really no way the Skyrim physics engine was going to let me his body not face down in the dirt, so I have to yeah. And trying to find a way through without getting caught. Both bells going for us here in the card. I'll have to see where this guy's at the end. Have a way around him. No. Just have to take him out. We did. We got away with it. Yeah, I can hear my dog barking on like the opposite side of the cavern. Wait for this guy to come back up here. And we will hit him in the head again. Yeah, it would be nice if they had like one good moment in the game. Really got to show off. Kicking some ass. They just get ragdolled, which just isn't like a fun way. Like, you want the good guys to win, right? You want to see. There is an appeal to the whole underdog. They got it really tough. It's really hard. They eventually overcome. That's nice and all, but sometimes you just want to feel like good can actually be powerful, strong and secure and stable.
Is someone there?
Oh crap. Baby. Baby. Up. Come on, come this way. Not that. Oh. He set off his own trap. Also, sad. Like, that's a horrific way for him to go out. Well, they take the malachite for a resource that I can get by having to buy it. Steal it. Yeah, it's connected to this area to have good be able to win. Winning means getting to a place where you have strength and stability. There's more ways to create tension and conflict and stakes than just the bad guy is always the more powerful one. There's also a cop-out for character growth sometimes too. That's just like the only storytelling device is how do they eventually win the whole fight as opposed to how do they grow along the journey. Please, no. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get past them without them catching me. Not like I was being very loud there. Schlong! What are you doing, Schlong? For the record, the game named him that, not me. He's following them. They're just letting it happen. Wonder if I use Ariel. Unlock it. More than enough souls. Fire! See me. When I sneak past, does it give me a stealth boost? Doubt it. Oh no! That's where they're following. That's not my dog. That's so sad. I have like no spell, I don't think, that will calm them down. Try. Oh, I got nothing, man. Got nothing. Do I have a shout? No. I have absolutely nothing that'll make them stand down. It's a shame, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, bro. Make it quick. I'm gonna burn you alive at least. Unlike sadly the other man, but there's much I could do about that. This is another dumb thing to get into. It's just, there's not... For an, like, an RPG is supposed to have a lot of versatility in how you can overcome an obstacle. And non-lethal is one of those, but it only really is giving us a variety of options that allows for ranged or whether they see you, but you can't, like, be hidden. You can be hidden and kill them from hiding. But you can't be hidden and have them not see you. Okay, so they started to experience headaches after they got down this far. They didn't know what it was from, they just figured it was stress of the thing. They uncovered the ore that we've been picking up as they've been mining. Lock picking. On the pop. Give me your gold. Come on. Better lockpicking than this. At least I'm gonna level up. There we go. No way. Okay, I thought it was just all the way down. It does do that sometimes, as infuriating as that is. Another dwarven bow. No, but these are really valuable items, and I would rather not leave. Not be carrying. Honestly, don't know. They have a lot of options. I need all the apparel I have right now. Mission that I'm on. Drink a strength potion. Get a companion because, yeah, nothing I can do about that.
Is someone there?
At least they go down easy. Ooh. Things that she has health on her. Horse has some oomph. Okay. No bueno. There we go. Who can play this game? Apparently not. I gotta blame that on her being stuck in the wall. Oh! Okay. Her body was going with her soul there for a little bit.
I'll see you.
First vigilant on the moon. I was aware of the fact that you could not best me already. But I'm glad that you were convinced of that before you died. Not stripping any of these guys just doesn't seem right. Once again, we have sort of a failure in wisdom among the vigilance, and no one decided to take precautions once they start to experience headaches while exploring ancient ruins. That seems like a fairly logical step, doing the kind of thing we're up to, but they even like put booby traps, but no one to defend their backs, but no one thought to think of, hey, maybe be careful about the mental games here. Would you think, especially vigilance would be, because it's kind of their job. It doesn't. By activating, I just want to disarm it. There we go. They have a spiritual side, so you think they'd be thinking about that going on in here, not just out there. Take precautions in both backs.
Is someone there?
What did I do? Oh. Oh, that's not what I meant. I was fucking. Legitimately, what the fuck? Endless waves, and we're just gonna wait for them to all get up here because once they do. Oh. Bulk. He was the leader of this expedition.
Are you prepared to die?
Yes, though I won't be needing that today.
I'll see you in pieces.
No, you won't. No, oh, wow, okay,
Must have run off.
he's still not correct. You didn't see me in pieces. That's more damage than the Vigilance normally do. That was kind of weird. I'm gonna blame that all on myself. That was a little bit of a clusterfuck on my part. Mostly because I didn't really know what was going on, and then I accidentally hit Z instead of control at the start. Now that we know they're just gonna swarm us, I can just go in guns blazing.
Enough! We are routed.
No, you're not. Is that a Thalmor? Bastards. I wouldn't put it past them, but it wasn't clear what kind of helmet they were wearing, so I'm not going to assume anything yet. No, it was a Vigilant.
That the best you can do?
Okay. As much as I want to blame the Thalmor for everything that goes wrong in Skyrim. That's sad. Husky gone. Another Vigilant just died. I didn't even really mean to kill them. They're so fragile sometimes. Others not. Kind of weird. A lot of these guys have books on the werewolves. I don't know if that has something to do with what they're doing here.
Lucky.
Is it? Was it so lucky? That was skill, brother.
There's no escape.
Good thing I'm not trying to. Really just waiting you out until I can Fusra die you again. Boop, boop, boop. Gonna do this one at a time? Alright. Interesting game mechanics there. Just clearly smashing into her ward instead of just let me hit the other guy. Alright, Volk. Enough of your shenanigans. He's gone. Face planted into the dirt. Sure. You got a lot of potions lying around. They're gonna help me do just that. Alrighty. I guess if there's any question of whether the Dragonborn was a bigger threat to the enemies of the world than the Vigilants, we now have an answer. We just single-handedly wiped a whole squad of them off the map. But to be fair, they were certainly not at their best. What is this note she had on her? The cure disease potion, or was it? I think that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Well, probably is the one I would have expected to have what we need. Information. If anyone, actually, would not be, you know, if he had figured it out, probably wouldn't have ended up charmed in the first place. Man. So many potions here. Okay, or like a loot. If only we had a companion on Serana. Straight up left me. That's where Volk ended up. Or no, the Husky. Aw, that's so sad. I'm not taking his meat. Just potion recipes. I Don't need to... I can't afford to carry that, let's be honest. Alright, looks like we've taken everything useful here. Let's go see. Do this to them. I am mildly concerned about, you know, are they going to actually do anything back to me, but... Or, yeah, be able to do to me what they did to them. So we'll just have to be quick, because it seems like they certainly had time before they got taken over. I've never heard of this minority before. It's probably not... like at first I was thinking maybe, because it said sent by the beacon, that it may have been Meridia, just by a different name. He talks about seeing them, so I'm guessing that it's probably like a hag raven or some other entity. Meanwhile, Florentius went down to figure out what was going on here. Okay, she's really just a woman who's trying to end Florentius. That was underwhelming. This is her faithful devotee. I'm gonna try and just kill her before killing that vigilant. Devotee was charmed, or wasn't charmed, but vigilant is. So I'm hoping that if I can kill her first, the vigilant will be released. Oh, he just died. That's lame. Wow. Okay. Pretty potent stuff on this one. Read this book. There we go. Just lose weight that way. And then I think this is where I'm going to have to lose stuff then. Like bear pelt. Or I want to keep... Probably going to be food. I have a lot of my weight right now. Yeah, sad as it is, I'll have to just dump some of this venison. Yeah, that's just sad and dumb. These guys can't be saved. This guy, or was apparently a Daedra, who was or not a Daedra, a vigilant who was devoted to this false prophet. We consider to be a god for some reason. Frankly, she went down like a chump. Hello there.
I knew Arcade would save me. I asked for help, and he sent you. You are a very welcome addition to this dreary place, my friend. I owe both you and Arcade a great deal. I'm sure I'll manage to repay him later. But you, what can I do to thank you?
Isran needs your help.
Isran? My help? Is this some kind of a joke? Did Arcade put you up to this? Isran's done nothing but mock me. He's never given me the respect I deserve.
Please, we need your help.
I've just got myself out of quite a mess here, in case you haven't noticed. And while I appreciate your help, What's that? No, that's not what I... Yes, but... Are you sure? Really?
Perhaps he can talk
Fine.
to Arcade.
Arcade says it's a good idea for me to go. I don't agree. But he's not the sort of fellow you can just ignore.
Perhaps
I'll see
he's
you
insane.
at Fort Dawnguard then. Don't worry. Arcade will show me the way.
Not really my business right now to go about discerning one or the other. The situation is not so black and white that it may really matter in this case that I come answer urgently. Well, since we're already down here, we may as well find what we can loot-wise in this place. Sadly, I can't even take all these potions. We're so encumbered right now. So my dog just like never showed up. Kind of sad. He can't carry things for me, but he could have at least helped me fight. Ooh, goody goody. Want that. Want that too. Alright, looks like we have to get rid of even more now. Just gonna keep dropping the venison, I guess. I guess that's where she slept. That's way farther into the crypt. That's it. I wonder if Morik had gone insane by the corruption of his mind, or he was a follower of hers before the Vigilance got here. I don't recall him being charmed. He needed to have that whole book written. Possibly he's so far along, or possibly this happened so long ago. That's what he chose, you know. That she was just under her power. It's all supposed to be left as a note. It's kind of like, hello. Ward off other vigilance, but. Alright. Alright, boys. Boys and girls. Get a potion of Route of Strength once again. And fast travel. Out of here. Where is Serana now? All the way up there. Continuing trying to catch up with her. Guards are running about. I wonder what they're running to. Okay. No danger. Just running behind on their morning routine. I've been there. Caught up in something mid-rounds and need to pick up the pace to catch up. Oh man. Serana's way off into the distance. Let's try and go ahead of her this time. Back. Nope. He's even farther now. I guess she said meet her at the docks, so we have time to stop at Whiterun and drop our stuff off, and then I guess we'll just meet her there. Alright, I'm a thing, so they've asked me not to do this, I don't care.
That's a shout, like the graybeards on their mountain.
You don't say. Never heard of that before. Dragonborn shouting. Like I've been a known figure in this community for like a year at this point.
How did you do that?
Once again, does like no one even know why I'm a Thane here? You work for me because I'm a Thane, and I'm a Thane because I'm a Dragonborn. I feel like that's just something you kind of naturally figure out in the course of your duties. I guess whatever floats your boat. So weirdly enough, Runevald didn't seem to have any like dragon wall, didn't have any it didn't really have anything that was Draugrlor, that's what I was looking for. That Minro had to clear out before she was able to claim the area. It was just kind of fairly empty. Really weird.
Die, Dawn.
Hello there. You were very clearly not a traveler. Very bad disguise, and frankly, your the guard who let you in the door should absolutely be fired. And wrecked. Oh, there's more of them. Did the gargoyle like teleport? Are there more vampires somewhere?
No sign of him.
I honestly don't know. Was perhaps the vampire teleported? Lame. This have cool gauntlets though. I'll take those. Get a full vampire kick going.
In the air. Cold won't be good for my crops. Never is.
I love how unfazed the people of Whiterun are by that.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken
Apparently, vampires are more common sight than, Whoa! I forgot I threw these guys down here. Bodies of the cultists, and plus they're still there.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
I guess that gargoyle just wasn't lootable. He's just gone. Are you done?
Was trouble in Whiterun and I'll pull you
Yeah,
into
that-
the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
Look, buddy, you did not... I'm not the one on thin ice today, okay? He's the one who let an obvious vampire in the gates, and apparently there was only one. And he must have, like, teleported or fast walked away. So now we're ahead of Serana, apparently. I think. No, she's there. Okay. I'm good. Well, off we go. So, what we're doing right now is we're infiltrating the castle where she grew up. Because we have reason to believe that her mother may be hiding somehow in plain sight here with the Elder Scrolls. Her mother being not on the same side as her father when it comes to the whole apocalypse thing.
I'm ready if you are.
Let's go.
Come on, it's just around the side.
Good boy. Hopefully he's good at stealth. I hadn't really thought that part through, but we should be fine. Worst comes to worst, we'll just fight our way through, as we always do. We should have a stealthy option, though. Things like this, the game kind of thinks through. The whole making allowances for people to not just straight up get capped. Because they remember that it's an important part of the story that we're breaking into the home of Serana. There we go. I'm just going to try and swim around to this thing because it doesn't seem like there is any other real path there. Yeah, so unlike the side quest where they just kind of blinked on a little detail in the main quest, they give more options for that sort of thing, but not many. Oh, I just have to see. Is that another vampire fish? Oh, normal salmon. Bad. Missed opportunity. I'm still very curious as to what constitutes a vampire fish. Like, is it... I mean, is it just what the name suggests? And if so, like, we've seen what Harkin can do. In terms of form transformation, can the fish transform its form? Into like a little mini vampire lord thingy? The thing is, by virtue of me being able to do it, if I had chose to accept his offer, I would think that, just about any vampire could, but maybe it's just like his bloodline thing? It has to be passed down through his bite? I'm not sure. I also never see Serana really do that, if I recall correctly, or her mother. I think it's implied that they can, but we never see it. Where is the secret entrance? I think it's too. I remembered it being on the left side of the castle, but the game was saying right in this case, on the little mini map. But now it's decided to change course and just send me all the way around here. Yep, there it is. Oh, look at that. Our very secret entrance has guards posted at it. Brilliant, Serana. Absolute W. At least they're skeletons, so we don't have to feel bad about taking them out. Alright, it's like I already found me. I wonder if they're gonna have as much life as other skeletons? I don't really differentiate them. What the? Skyrim just crashed. And one of the most abrupt crashes I've ever seen, if I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Okie day. As Jar Jar would say. It is what it is. Yeah. And we're all the way back here. At least you don't have to swim the whole way again.
Come on, it's just around the side.
At least we know which side it is now. Oh, Skyrim. What are we gonna do with you? You didn't even have to swim. Wish you could have said the last time which way we ought to go.
Doesn't look so big from down here. I mean, it is big, but well, even bigger.
Like, the information I needed was which way to go, not that there is in fact an entrance if I follow the path that leads to the entrance. One of these things is less intuitive than the other. So much for a stealth option. I really don't. They aren't making it easy for me, at least. Someone's already taken shots. Says we're not discovered, but we clearly are. You know, as frustrating as it can be, at the same time, it is part of what gives Skyrim its charm. Ever since Todd Howard called it a flawless game.
Where'd you come from?
It's quite poetic every time you see a bug. I don't want to make too much noise, so I'm going to resist the urge to Fusha or die, even though I don't think anyone inside the castle is actually going to hear that. It makes sense that it wouldn't be a good idea, canonically, even if the game isn't going to punish me for it. Come on. Alright, now is probably a good time to switch to melee. I should have done that. There we go. Serana's got that one. We'll get the other guy. Let's Serana and Shalong deal with that guy. Whoop. And he's dead. Excelente. Apparently, these people have been guarding this location since the time of the ancient Nords. Given the armor that they're wearing. They somehow did not rate being turned into vampires for their service. I guess that is the life of a thrall. But at least they weren't eaten.
What did you need?
I suppose we don't know that. We have skeletons. They're not zombies. I wonder if I'm here. I'm really surprised by that one. Doesn't not have the best of eyes, clearly. Okay, so we can either open the big door, peek through the little door.
The old water cistern.
Okay, the
On
one
some
is.
days this would smell just. Be glad you weren't here then.
I see. I guess the smell of shipped and dead bodies is not the best in the world. There's only dogs down here. Sure, Serena is not happy to see them go, but we don't have a lot of options. At least they're not people. Oh, come on. And now doggos. Take the bait. Fetch. Hit them from here.
Who's there?
Well, let's take them out quickly. I don't know how the dogs open the house running. I already made it. Okay. Well, I guess that's a strategy. She revived the skeever. Feral vampire. Neat. I guess this is what happens to a vampire when they run out of things to eat. It is odd that he had more health than a lot of vampires we've come across in our travels have. And she also had a note from her journal. Oh, fragment. Not good enough to live in their stupid keep, am I? Stupid sods don't realize I moved into the Undercroft and started taking control of their own death hounds. I'll get my revenge. Apparently she did not. But I guess it'll be some comfort to Sharana to know those death hounds were already met a bad fate before. He had to unfortunately take their lives. In the name of silence, I will definitely do this chest. I got more cause to kill the Death Hounds than New York State Troopers had to take out Peanut and Fred. There's more on that later. Once again, it seems like we have several options for moving forward, or at least this gives us somewhat of a visual, but apparently not enough to see through. Oh, I guess just kind of there. We'll have to go through this way. At least we can hear that there are enemies up ahead. Okay. That opens the way, apparently. So, if that vampire was down here this whole time, taking over their hounds, how little do they come down here? Really, where they put, you know, every time they eat, it seems like they're throwing their bodies over there. Perhaps not every time, but it also seems like this is, you know, something they would use fairly regularly.
This is one of those weird double-barred security measures that my father put in when he got more paranoid. If we follow that path around, we can find the other switch.
I suppose they actually probably don't use it a lot, because it was like an entrance not a lot of people apparently know about. Alright, buddy. You ain't all that you're cracked up to be, are you? I mean, double-layered security systems are just wise. I wouldn't call that paranoia, Serrano. I'll actually give your father credit for that one. I said one of these ways leads to a switch, but I don't know which one. Activate that. Oh no. But it sounded like Schlong got hit by the bear trap. Bear trap could have hit him. Okay. We're able to go down here for some reason. I don't know what reason that might be. I guess if you had knocked this guy off, I wanted to loot his body, but it's not like he had a lot. Okay, it's just kind of there. Which really makes sense canonically. I don't know why they have to give us the option to go there. But, you do you, Skyrim. I appreciate the world building. I wonder if I'm here. Okay. Stealth really does not seem to be an option today. Where did who come from, Serana? Who are you even fighting? You're way back there. Why are you groaning? What the?
That'll teach you.
Okay then. Well, okay, so this is their bone pit, apparently. Or eating corpses. Don't know why there needs to be a door, unless that's like immediately leading to the upstairs, but then you'd think they'd be able to see down it. Once again, very odd. Also weird that it's a greeted door, and yet it's supposed to hold the body parts until it drops. How do you... It's great. And you're dropping bones, which are significantly smaller than those grates. This is some actually decent loot when it comes to... Because fine stuff sells well. I'll just take the least heavy thing. Potions. Honestly, I'd take more potions. I really probably should. They do weigh things, and you hardly use a lot of them. Okay, well, they got a spider down here too. This is another part of that multi-layer verification program. POV me trying to log into Twitch. Oh, fuck. Okay, then. This is true to form for me trying to log into Twitch. We have to go all the way back here. God, I hate this game sometimes. What the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Who's there?
The game has significantly more. Okay, we're just gonna fly through this. Sorry to do that to y'all. Not even gonna loot anything anymore. It's not worth it. Let's Serana and Schlong clean up my mess behind me. Damn you! Kind of. Not something you want to see to a normal person, but sexual content warning. That's a good question. When it comes to Skyrim, I think it just kind of throws everything in there. I don't want to make allusions to that in this game. I can promise you that outside of Serana, I don't really have any sexual interest in what we're doing here today. The first is just like a given. I don't think a man need to really be playing Skyrim to have that. Good to have you here, Elijah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Always glad to have another person join the stream. I haven't seen you here before, I don't believe. How are you? Yeah, Skyrim only has late allusions to sexual content, so you should be good. And violence, on the other hand, not quite such an easy matter. So, we know there's a bunch of traps there, so let's let whatever's over there get caught on their own traps. No, Schlong! Don't do it, boy! Oh, fuck, that scared me. I thought that one behind me was, a hostile death hound. It was just jumping me from behind. I guess the sexual content warning is a little bit more relevant than we may have thought. Alright.
Done and done.
Come on. For the record, I am calling Schlong because that's the game's name for him. I did not do that. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm doing great. A little frustrated with the game of Skyrim. Just had a big setback there for a second, so I'm kind of sprinting through this area. Oh, look, a torture chamber. Apparently people do come down here from time to time. Clearly. Well, apparently it hasn't been a while, because there's a lot of blood here. He doesn't have meat on his bones? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I guess I took the skull. We'll just hold on to that. Do those. Yeah, the game kind of just threw us back a little bit because of stupidity of how little it autosaves, frustratingly. So, trying to speedrun my way through this part. Promise, in a moment we'll get to more proper narration, gaming-wise. All right, let's kill this big guy. Arachnophobia warning should be mentioned now. I always forget how good these guys are because they're one of the first things, like, bosses in the game. And you cream it right away, but I guess that one's wounded, and that's why they're beefier when you face them later. Right. Absolutely. And especially, like, a lot of... in games, there's a lot of fights that don't exist for narrative purpose as much as they're there to kind of just keep you engaged, make it a challenge. So it's not fun at all to redo those again. Like, they get grindy when they get super repetitive. So when you're stuck doing it again, it just really sucks ass. But it's alright. It is what it is.
This leads out to the courtyard.
It's kind of on me. I've been playing Skyrim so long, I should know to quick save more often. And you find ways to make it fun. You know, the first time I went through it, I did all stealthy-like and smart. But the second time, I got to just have fun with them, bash some skulls in, because I knew I didn't have to...
What happened to this place?
For cannon, sneak through.
Down. The whole place looks, well, dead. It's like we're the first to set foot here in centuries.
I'm sorry, Serrano.
Great hall. Looks like my father had it sealed up. I used to walk through here after evening meals. It was beautiful once.
Well, he couldn't have, like, just put a bar on the door? He really had to go that far to seal it up? Please stop lore dumping when I'm not near you.
Something can be when it's tended by a master for hundreds of years. She would have hated to see it like this. Wait.
This is a very beautiful place. I can see how beautiful it would have been in its prime.
Something's wrong with the moon dial here. Some of the crests are missing and the dial is askew. I didn't even know the crests could be removed. Maybe my mother's trying to tell us something.
Maybe it's also possible they went missing over
I'm telling you, there's something strange with the moon
actually,
dial.
why would they, And why would her father take any of these? We have to investigate the matter. I don't have the proper crest. That's what I figured. Gotta find them around somewhere. Yeah, spamming F5, I get that. So we can go inside the castle that way. I don't know if we want to do that. There's one crest here. Okay, we can get into another tower there. You're just talking about how this place was sealed off from the main castle. I guess you can get here indirectly still. Which does make sense, I suppose. If you are, from a security perspective, you might want to keep it from being a place of note by blocking off the main entrance, but still have some method of getting there. We found one of them. We might have to explore those other areas to find the rest. Or it's also possible that they're both here. No, okay. We've only found two. Have I ever finished the Skyrim storyline? I have finished the main quest line before, yes. And I've seen people play through the game enough that I know how all of the quest lines unfold. But I've never done it on stream before. Either of those things. Okay, so we are going to have to venture into these towers. I wonder if she's going to come with me or if she's just going to leave me hanging. NPCs have a sad habit of doing that in this game. Yep, they're just totally abandoning me. Appreciate you. So much for having an access way there still. Apparently these things just got totally sealed off as well. What a brilliant tactical mastermind he is, sealing off 2 total towers. What is the logic of that? You know how long it takes to build a freaking tower? And they're some of the most important defensive fortifications you have. I don't see a crest in here. Yes, you do in fact end up doing that. For those who are watching this later on YouTube, I don't want to spoil that for them. But to answer your question, yes, you do that. The series is edited and posted on YouTube as well, on our YouTube Extras channel. So people will be watching this separately. But yeah, you do in fact do that at the end of the main quest line. Though there's also other, like in even the main game, you know, the base game before the DLCs, there are alternative story, you know, other storylines that are close to being main storylines, like the Civil War quest line that I've played through as well. Well, type it. Just do !based right away and you'll see. Another skeleton. It is. A lot of skeletons just vibing here. At least he left some guards behind. One apparently is a lot denser of a tower than the other. There you go. You're 42% based. I don't know if you don't know what based is, I can explain that for you, but basically just rates you and your percentage based. We have a lot of commands like that, like we have an IQ command, we have a based command, we have a love command. If you do !love and then the name of someone else, it will say, just randomly basically generate for you an amount for any of those things. So, yeah, it's just random. This is a fun little thing you can do, you know, when you're sitting there in chat, or you're having fun with someone else, arguing about who is more based, especially when we have disagreements over plot lines, stuff like that. Civil War and plotline, for example, which side should we take? You know, when we get there, no doubt there'll be plenty of disagreement on which side to take, and that can be used in that argument. You can do, you know, you disagree with someone, you do !based that person. It comes up as a low number. You can let them never live that down. Boop, boop, boop. He got booped to death. Oh, he's got a bow. Dodge and weave, boys and girls. Dodge and weave. Okay. I'm in here. I don't see any crusts yet, though. Gonna keep looking while that guy shoots at us, because he is that literal of a threat. I am sorry, they are being mean to you today. Sometimes they're nicer. I guess you're just in a mood, you know. Mondays, right? Even bots are affected by Mondays, apparently. Oh, fuck! Okay! Oh, no. He's making you dumber. That's what happens when you call him mean, I guess. He's throwing hands. Try love. That is a whole gargoyle, which I really don't want to fight alone right now, so let's make use of this guy. Please don't eat me, Mr. Gargoyle. I can take them. I've taken them before in this Let's Play. They really are nasty to fight, and I want to skew the odds in my favor, so I'm going to give myself a friendly gargoyle, or a friendly storm astronaut, who apparently just can't hit the thing. Why is this gargoyle so goated, dude? What the? Why is it so fast? They aren't usually this good. More importantly, why has Serana just totally abandoned us to this thing? Very rude, if you would guess. Okay, that'll help us a little bit and give our friendly Storm Atronach a chance to hit it while it's down. There we go. We just need to keep it from moving. If I take those ores, some very valuable stuff there. Alright. Can you please take care of that skeleton? That spooked the crap out of me. Because there's been plenty of gargoyles around here that haven't jumped me. And that one just, like, decided one in my ass. It was going to be the one to take it. That was, yeah, that was non-consensual. Very scary. Hold on. Sometimes Skyrim does this. I don't know why. It would just randomly... Like, I'm obviously tabbed into Skyrim and not the chat. But it'll still somehow scroll down the chat. Basically, I fix it by just clicking onto OBS instead. The last thing I clicked before this. Oh, wow, it's 1 a.m. there. You have a good night as well. Thank you so much for following. It was great to have you here. I hope you enjoy coming back at a later date. God bless you, man. Godspeed and good night. Take care of yourself. Peace out to Elijah. And Gargoyle is not the only one here who is goated. Hello? Couple random gold ingots back here, and a jewel necklace. Who the heck died back there? Who did they bury in here? And they close this place off. Who do they hate that much? Yeah, there's just nothing in here that's of use to us right now. Maybe in this chest we'll find the other seals, but these towers may have just been a waste of time. And we're carrying too much. Okay. Oh man, the loot's so good though. The loot's so good. Guess we'll have other opportunities to pick up things like this. Pine boots. What's behind? Do you want me? No. Sometimes a gargoyle is just a gargoyle, apparently. No seals in here. Maybe over there? Nope. Nada. Nada yada yada. Advertisements. Were effective enough for me to remember the ad, but not effective enough for me to know what the ad was for. I've only found 2 of these things, Serana. I don't know what I'm going to do for you without finding more. This is active. Bad. Not do wonders for my deduction skills. But 2 so far. There's another one. think we have 3 so far. And there's 4. This might be enough. Thankfully, it's not going to even ask us to identify which is which. Go through and place them down. Okay, I guess I don't have those ones yet.
I'm telling you, there's something strange with the moon dial.
You don't say. Oh, I guess those 2 are just meant to be missing.
Very clever, Mother. Very clever.
I guess it's when the moon
I've
is
never been in
invisible.
those tunnels before, but I'd bet they'd run right under the courtyard and into the tower ruins. Well, at least we're getting closer. Let's go.
Right? Let's do it. And pause. So this is a good time to take a break. Anyone who's been here a while knows how that works. We do 5 minutes on the side of the break for dramatic discussion. That's part of the point of this series. Along with the RPG we play, we also talk about moral implications, artistic choices that happen we encounter throughout the games, and also bring in some stuff from outside of the games as well. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to take a 10-minute break. However, I really have to go to the bathroom, so we're going to take a 10-minute break, and I'm going to do 2 topics back to back. So, if you're interested in those topics, you're more than welcome to join us then. We're going to be talking about 1, Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon, and then 2, the matter of crucifix or cross, because that's kind of, I'll give background on that when we get there. Basically, I had a crucifix and the corpus fell off this weekend. I was talking to a Protestant friend of mine about it. Thought it'd be a fun thing to talk about, just because we haven't really encountered anything else here that's in game that's, interesting enough to devote 5 minutes to. So when we come back, we'll deal with that. Both those things. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to stay around. If not, take a break, man. Enjoy the 20-minute break. Hopefully, we'll see you when you get back. All right. Take care, everyone. See y'all soon. Oh, that's that. Woo. All right. Be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your break, took an opportunity to get a bite to eat. Maybe go to the bathroom yourself. Take a breather. I know some people may not be back quite yet because of the discussion break. Some of you are. I appreciate y'all being here. Look forward to chatting with y'all. See if we get any input on today's topics. I think they're both fairly engaging ones, at least based on how things are going online right now. They definitely are. So the first one, just because it's immediately relevant, as we kind of dealt with the killing of some animals earlier, there's not much else going on in the game for us to talk about. We can talk about Peanut the squirrel.
The outpouring.
So if you haven't heard yet, which I suppose some people may not have. I would figure most people have. I actually don't have any pictures in here. We can just go back here. That over this past weekend, there was a really now major controversy. The internet has kind of gone berserk. Like, if you look at these videos about it, the original news breaking only has like 48,000 views, but you look at this 1 million views, 3.7 thousand, 26,000, one up here 354,000 on MSNBC. That's a lot of interest among people. And at one point in my life, I would have been fairly skeptical, about people, fairly cynical, I guess I should say, when it comes to stories about animals in the news, right? Because people are so, feel like it can somewhat grind people's gears to be like, all these bad things happen to humans all the time, and a lot of people just don't care, and then something happens with like a dog and everyone's up in arms. But I think there is actually a good reason for that. And we'll come back to that in a minute. But what happened was, is this man had 2 pets in his home, or at least probably more than that, but the 2 in question that he had domesticated in his home were a squirrel and a raccoon. Now this man and his wife run an animal rescue shelter out of New York, where they have several hundred thousands of animals that they help take care of, that have either been abused or left behind by the world, that they take in, and Peanut, the squirrel, is kind of their flagship for that whole franchise. See a lot of pictures of them here. Let's just do Peanut the squirrel montage. We'll give Fred some love too. But very tragically, over the weekend, New York State police decided to, armed with a warrant in hand from a court, so someone actively had to bring this before a judge and get permission to raid this man's home. 12 police officers raided their home, harassed these people, put them basically under like temporary arrest in their own home. Was going through all their documents and all the things, and they took Peanut the squirrel and they took Fred the raccoon, and they euthanized them, because that is a totally sane and normal thing for people to do. It's especially as well. It's it's not like there's anything better for police officers to be doing, let alone 12 of them. They gotta get out somehow, right? A little police officer party. See, Peanut's montage. The scroll clip. Have that going while we keep talking. And people are understandably fairly up in arms about this, right? So it raises many questions. And I think a lot of people are kind of pushing this under the rug as well, though. They're like, why is this something that's so serious? Or people are only getting like some depth of the matter. Which the thing that most people get right away is like, why were police wasting time on this? And some people get the issue of overreach, right? Like, Why was it the government's business that he had these pets? Yes, they do have a law that they're supposed to have a license, but so many laws people let people get away with. This guy literally owns an animal rescue shelter. If you know this guy is breaking the law by having the squirrel, technically, so he's obviously well taken care of, and very public about it too. Why would it not be more reasonable to first reach out and say, hey, do you want to, we're letting you know you're not in compliance, here's a warning, you need to get this figured out, or here's a fine. Why would you jump to, okay, let's break into their home with 12 armed police officers and euthanize the pets? Why is that why was that the move? That's an important question. And then the last one I think not a lot of people get, and this goes into the whole matter of what I was talking about with animal stories versus human stories, is that when it comes to the little things in life, right, like the big things are the things that everyone basically has to do. And a lot of whether that's a good country or a bad country, a country with a good government or a bad aligned government, I think people are going to get away with a lot of small things when you have authorities or so who are just trying to get by, just look like they're doing their job. They'll take care of the things they know they have to take care of, but they might let a lot of small things off the hook. There might be a lot of things they just don't care about, right, when it comes to that. But then you have your true believers who really go hard on the small things. And so when you have a story like this, a story that deals with animals, right? This is not a big thing. This is not, this guy is a straight up serial killer. He's out there, he's got a basement full of dead bodies. They really got to take this guy down, or the gig is up, right? They absolutely have to be fired. No, and there's just so many other opportunities, things they could have done to deal with the situation as well. Sure that we're not getting more footage. Maybe it's all the news coverage right now. No one's showing the actual videos of Peanut the Squirrel.
Peanut the Squirrel of internet fame has been
Yeah, it's all the news stuff. I meant to change it to Fred the raccoon. Anything. Got a little baby video here. There's not a lot of straight content. I wonder where, if anyone has the original guy's channel, probably linked on that team. Go back. But I think that's the thing a lot of people miss, right? I've seen some people point out on the internet, plenty, enough people that it's not genius commentary here. But it raises a very important question of the level of dedication it takes to do something like this. How dedicated do you have to be, being an absolute fucking psychopath, that you would go this far out of your way, that you would get, you go through the whole process of getting a warrant, of putting together the team, which this is all law enforcement stuff. That is not an easy job. It's not an easy thing to organize. There's all sorts of logistical concerns, all sorts of safety concerns. It's not a small thing at all, especially get a group together that big of 12 officers. You might even have to pull some people off of duty in order to make this happen. There's a lot of effort being put into this thing to go and to put down a squirrel because somebody has a pet. What motivates someone to do that has to be so deeply disturbed. And this is the thing that goes with law enforcement as well, and jobs like it. There's not a lot of gray area. There's not a lot of gray in the blue, right? It is not things like the military, stuff like that. You'll eventually find that people who wane off halfway through will start to end up in those gray areas. But for a lot of people, to do that much work, you need to really dig deep to get motivated enough to get up every day and to do that job. and so you're really committed to helping people, and you're thinking just all day, every day about the people in your community, the people you can help, or you're really, really obsessed with control, with power, with the ability to show off. And what this says about like the state of New York, the people in that government, the people in these law enforcement agencies within that state, is extremely damning. That is like it is, and that's what makes this story so different, I think, than just like, oh, just classic government overreach. Why is this such an outrageous thing when we have so many other massive issues going into these next 2 days of political season? Why are people so up in arms about this? Uh, the reason that they are is because they realize that if they are willing to do this for the sake of a squirrel, how much more are they going to be willing to do it to you if they ever get the chance? And so that's the crux of the controversy. Anyone watching this, New York, actively or in post even, next time down the line, I think you can just put in, yard signs in the state of New York. You don't need a politician's yard sign anymore. You could just put like the grave of Peanut next to the grave of Fred in your yard as a big old advertisement for like whoever the heck is not already in government there. And that will, some of those people will be on the ballot tomorrow. Obviously, it's not as straightforward as everyone in government. But also has something about like either the incompetence or the bad intentions of people at higher levels in the government. Because someone who's worked leadership positions before, I feel like it's just, one of those unwritten rules that one of the things you do when you're in leadership, you got people working underneath you, to kind of like suss out if they're a psychopath. It's not really something that we put on the books a lot, because it's not something that you really need to think about, right? Like it's fairly obvious, maybe it's not a good idea to give a bunch of people vests and firearms who are just absolute freaks. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's intolerable. It's just straight up messed up. Definitely worth doing something about. It's a very sad story. You feel for the people who did it too. It's a massive disruption to their life. I know it's, a home where a man and a woman live together. Potentially are going to have a family someday. It's a very traumatic event, especially for people who are just like so tender and kind-hearted, that they're the type of people to take on the health and well-being of like 300,000 animals. If I remember the numbers, they said it correctly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's really that much else to say about it other than it's just totally messed up and never should have happened. Should never be allowed to happen again. There is questions too. New York is a state that has all these very proudly touted gun control policies. What when it comes to who can buy a gun and who can't, what the kind of certification they have to get from the government first in order to do that. What does it say about that process and their ability to keep people safe through those laws that they can't even, like, the people that they make their law enforcement, they can't even get right? If they can't get those people right, the people who work within their own agencies, and just how many people, right? Like, how many people had to just be like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. At the very least, I value my job more than doing the sane, rational, right thing. You had someone had to lobby for this again to the judge. The judge had to sign off on this. All those people had to get together. All sorts of people within the departments would have found out about this happening. Once you got there, once they got the squirrel and brought it back, someone had, animal control had to deal with these animals. They had to put them down. Like stuff they all do normally. But the fact that no one there was like, this is fucked up enough for me to maybe say something, no, it just didn't happen. That is an absolute disaster. And that's why it is so important. So let's see, I can't. No one's like linking his page. See if he mentions it in here.
Outpouring support has been
That was another fun thing too. Like this woman, his wife was from Germany, so they decided, now then was the time as well to check out all their immigration records. Because she's the kind of immigrant that the nation should be concerned about right now. No one thought to maybe just release it into the wild, send to a proper animal shelter. No one's saying who this guy is. Who is the Peanut? The squirrel guy. Sorry, Peanut. Mark Longo. Maybe, just post his stuff on Instagram. Yeah, that's probably it. Ah, I see. Naturally, it was a neighbor who complained about the squirrel. That made all of this worth it, right? No one decided to just maybe tell her to get bent. Or again, come up with a different solution, like, hey, why don't you get some paperwork? And what is that squirrel doing to threaten the neighbors, especially when they have so many other animals on the property? I don't even know. Well, I think I put it up on here. Channel. Try. Yeah, people are even like going and figure out who ratted out Peanut the squirrel. Okay, yeah, it's an Instagram. Okay, so we can't really look at it today, but know that it's out there. That's our Instagram. Currently, they had an OnlyFans page that used to pay for the animal refuge. Would not endorse that, but it doesn't necessarily make what they did, what they released it any more justified. That 350 acre animal refuge. So this is a neighbor complaining about them on a 350 acre property. It's just insane. All right, well that's enough for R.I.P. Peanut, and look up Fred the raccoon as well. Peanut's getting a lot more attention because he's like the face of the brand, and squirrels are a lot more favorably viewed animals. But we still gotta remember Fred. He deserves the honor of being remembered. Adorable. You gotta, all animals are worthy of love. And Fred just goes to prove that. May he rest in peace. There we go. That's our question for the day. That's one. Second one, which I brought up earlier. You see my cross here, the cross that kind of like when you look at the Jack of Clubs image. Bring this down. What this was based off of. They obviously, they didn't go the whole way. I don't know why that's there. They didn't go the whole way in putting this into the visual that they drew, but they just made a cross, so I guess it is kind of fitting. It's even kind of is it actually black in the center, but it's more silvery in there, maybe. No. Anyways, yeah, they didn't go the whole way, but that's what this was based off of. This cross is very personal to me. A lot went into me getting it, both religiously and personally, even financially. In terms of a gift from not even friends, not even family, not even friends, but family of friends. He went out of their way to pay for me when I was going through some rough times with my medical issues. get a whole expense paid retreat. Just have some time to reconnect with God and to get a lot of prayers done for the sake of my healing. So that's where this came from. It also connected to a lot of personal stuff in terms of chapters in my life. We'll go on to that today. Interesting lore dump for another time, no doubt. But reason I'm thinking about it today is because last night when I was Saturday night when I was at the band competition, some point during that day, I don't know when, the corpus came off. So, I like to joke, Jesus resurrected. He came off the cross. I don't know where that is. Hopefully, that'll go on. We trust that it will go on to serve as a blessing in someone else's life. The corpus, it was blessed several times over, in fact. Even touched, I've been blessed enough to have within my own home a relic of the true cross. So, Catholic Church has loads of tiny little splinters, preserved very carefully over a very long, 2,000 some years, 2024 to be exact, since the crucifixion of Jesus, that we have spread around all over the world to pray with, and we consider it sacred, something that brings blessings to places where it is kept and things to which it is touched to. This crucifix was touched to that, making it a second-class relic of the true cross. Interesting lore on that is that most relics in the Catholic Church are first class if they were a part of the saint. But obviously, Jesus was never resurrected, or Jesus' body isn't around anymore. So we don't have any first-class relics of Jesus, so anything that's like a splinter from his crib or a splinter of the cross is instead considered first class. So this has become a second class, whereas if it was, someone like St. John, for example, it'd be a first class, which, again, we don't have any first class of him. People would either, suggest that we just never found the body. Others, like especially those in the Orthodox tradition, believe that he was assumed bodily into heaven after his death. Kind of somewhere between what happened to Mary and Elijah and what happened, kind of more akin to, I guess, what happened on the day of the crucifixion. People raised from the dead and then were ascended into heaven. Or maybe he just, again, didn't die. Maybe he was assumed. I forget exactly what they believe, but regardless, if you had a piece of his cloak, that would have been second class, something he just touched. Whereas this case, it kind of all goes back a step. All I have to say, this cross is very important to me. So I was talking this to a friend over the weekend who is Lutheran right now, but working on going to the Catholic faith. Actually, Gibbon, to be more specific, who's on these streams fairly regularly. Sorry, I gotta stop to catch my breath sometimes. Was talking to him about it, and so he's okay with the crucifix. Obviously, most Christians are. Some people have more strong disagreements on that. That's not the kind of stuff we're going into today. Any sort of icons being immoral. This is more of, especially when it comes to groups like the Lutherans and the Catholic Church, is far more a debate of which icons to prioritize and whether or not it's okay to have any at all. Any iconography, any drawings of Christ, so on and so forth, or whether that it's not a matter of idolatry in that sense. And so he's okay with it, becoming the Catholic Church, and he knows that he doesn't, by being Catholic, have to totally drop preferring the cross, which I would say is just a true thing, any sort of devotional context. It's one thing, there's one argument to be had, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, of which should be the primary principal symbol, right? If someone walks into a church, they encounter the religion for the first time. What is the face that they see? What is the symbol that the people of God hold up to the world? One thing to have that debate, and another to have what personally one connects to the most. Someone being a specialist in an organization, for example, obviously does not mean that they are dismissive of the primary goal of the overall organization. Specialization happens for a reason. It happens all the time when it comes to God creating people, the diversity of his creation. Totally fine thing to do. But we see here, as we scroll through churches, I just looked up church images on DuckDuckGo. The Catholic churches here. Crucifix. This is Episcopal. I think they actually have crucifix as well. You can kind of see it in the back. This is a more contemporary Protestant evangelical church. Not even a cross there, just a picture of Jesus in the back and the Last Supper, interestingly. Here's another contemporary Protestant there with just the standard cross, so on and so forth. So when people walk into a church, which of these things is most appropriate for them to see? That's kind of the discussion being had, and also the discussion, it kind of bleeds over for me into which one they prefer, crucifix or cross. To start, I am, not only because I'm Catholic, like I've said, it's not necessarily an absolute thing you have to believe if you're a Catholic. This is the principal sign of the faith. But I think that it should be for a lot of reasons. Most people boil the argument down to, outside of those that consider it idolatry, to giving precedence to the crucifixion, to his death, to his suffering, or to the resurrection. And I think that doesn't really capture, and my whole stance on the matter, at least most of it, is that is in fact not the argument between those two. I think for one, when it comes to the crucifix, see if you can find church with a very clear image in here. Not a lot of high resolution photos on DuckDuckGo images today. And this is a fairly decent one, the one we already clicked on. When you look at the crucifix, right, or one of the things that makes Christianity what Christianity is, every religion basically has an afterlife. They have some sort of system where there is a reward for doing good, and where there is a good place where people go if they were good in life. That's pretty much a universal for most religions. So it's not, when it comes to distinguishing Christianity from the rest of the world, the fact that we have a resurrection is not really what does it. Now, obviously, that's not the whole of the matter. A lot of it in the having of the cross, saying that this is how we get there, right? Which again kind of bleeds over into what the crucifix is. Most Christians will argue, that says more to have Jesus not there, as kind of a reminder of the fact that we get off. Like, on the one hand, we see that we have to suffer in order to get to where we want to go, but it's also a reminder that we are going there. And so they see that as kind of the synthesis they're looking for. And I have a different view, because I think that the principal difference of Christianity is not that there is simply just a reward after the fact in suffering, but the suffering is itself the reward. It is not a prosperity gospel. It is a gospel of, Jesus smiling on the way of the cross. Saints, the original 12 apostles and other saints having stories of going to their deaths laughing along the way. And it's something I feel like I wish we got more in terms of iconography of the crucifixion. The image of Jesus smiling on the way. Because we realize that we don't just have a God of hope when it comes to the future, but we have a God of hope in the present. And we have a God of joy in the present moment. That there is a glory in and of itself, and a joy, a deep love, and a deep wisdom, as well as a deep justice, and a deep ethos, so on and so forth. Even edification, a deep pleasure in suffering for the sake of someone else, in the moment. And that the principal aspect of the Christian religion is not that God, that we go to be with God or that God rewards us, but that God is sharing his very existence with us. We get to, the Genesis goes as far to say humanity lived in the time of the garden and are to live again as little g gods, being that closely connected to God. He's sharing that experience that intimately. And the core part of that experience, we are told, is love. It is the ability to give to another person. And so the principal thing that we get, and as well as something important to note as well, right? That in a religion with free will, the belief, the religion that believes in and being responsible for their own suffering, there being such a thing as justice, there being such a thing as sin, there has to be a belief that the authenticity, the genuineness of the relationship takes precedence even over just everyone doing the right thing. And if we didn't have that, God just made us like animals, we would just have ecstatic life. There could still be heaven. There would still be the garden, so on and so forth. You kind of get into the weeds when you talk about ifs with God, because everything kind of connects to one another, self-proving. So you can't really take an element out of that proof and say all the same would work together. It just wouldn't work at all, but you get what I mean. You can kind of do that. That when it comes to the crucifix, as opposed to just the cross, we see that element of reconciliation. The fact that man could sin. This is the thing that only happened because we had an authentic relationship with God. And we see something, again, that's so important to the Christian religion is the incarnation as well. So if you had gone to, especially the time when Christianity was first thriving, to another nation, you'd gone to Rome, you would have walked in, you would have seen statues to all of their gods. You have gone farther north, you would have seen iconography of various pantheons they had. Others had more pagan religions that worshipped things like trees, trees or nature, so on and so forth. You have iconography related to such things. And so in the Christian religion, what we worship is God, and the incarnate God specifically. It's a very jarring thing to see when you see someone carrying the symbol of their deity. You don't see Athena carrying to you perhaps a shield, or Aphrodite, a very beautiful figure, Artemis, fruits of the hunt. Instead, you see God suffering. Like, why are you carrying that as your symbol? It makes you think. And I guess, it does do that to an extent to show Christ again off the cross. Obviously, we don't worship just the cross. We worship the man on the cross. And that's just, it allows us to bring another thing in, a reminder of God's intimacy with us. And it also carries over into when Jesus is living with the disciples, with the apostles, and he's telling them how they should remember him. Sort of the ultimate summit of the life of Jesus, and we'll get to more evidence for that as well. What was the peak of his life? He tells them to do the sacrament of the Eucharist in remembrance of his suffering and death. It is not necessarily a celebration of the resurrection. It is his body and his blood is brought out and that is broken, and is shared and is spread across mankind. That is the moment that he says is to be the one that is commemorated continually throughout the lives of the apostles and all the disciples of God going forward. That is the moment to remember. When you think of a religion and an ideology even, we use the phrase, the hill that you will die on. Often disparagingly, like, hey, that's not the hill to die on. But even the implication there is that there is a hill to die on. And in Christianity, there is a literal name for that hill. It is the place of the skull. That is the hill that we die on. Not the mountain that Jesus went up to for the transfiguration, not the mountain that they were on when Jesus ascended into heaven. It is the it is Golgotha, the place of the skull. That is where we go. And so while I think there is a lot of beauty said in, just the symbol of the cross, and as well, when it comes to the incarnation, part of that as well, that intimacy with God is, I feel honestly kind of naked when I just carry the cross. Because when I carry the crucifix, it sends a very clear message that what I want the other person to experience when they experience me, and what I want someone to give credit to when they receive good from me, is the man on the cross. Not this man, but that man. And yes, this is art, secondhand do it, but it's a lot more clear. And this is what when it comes to art, you're kind of, and like I said at the beginning, we're kind of arguing semantics as a matter of what's better, not necessarily a matter, what should be the principles as opposed to what is the only acceptable one. That, very clearly says that the good that you are getting, the person that you are falling in love with when they are being loved by me, is not me, or at least not solely me. It is that person as well. The person that I see hanging on that cross. For that reason, all of the above, it's also the point where like everyone got together. Suppose you kind of had that, but it was a lot more clear as to who was there and who was not. I think just all together, it makes more sense for the crucifixion to be considered his highest moment. And it's a very, one thing I would say very strongly against is I've seen people talk about it in the sense of, why are you putting up God's lowest moment? Why are we celebrating God at his lowest? Why not the resurrected Jesus? Why not the Jesus who is all powerful? And that is straight up heresy, right? Like, we know for a fact that God's greatest attribute, the part he wants us to pay the most attention to, all the rest is important and essential. Even if you just have that central part, it would not be enough. It is a wholly transformative religion. But the most important part, the peak of his identity, what made Jesus even Jesus, right? Like even the resurrection, again, that glory, that is what God the Father gave us to have in the first place. What Christ did is he redeemed us and brought us back together. The literal cross was mercy, the true cross, even more truer, the spiritual side of things is a deeper truth than even the physical world of the cross. Is not just two pieces of wood intersecting, but it's justice and mercy intersecting in the person of God, in the person of Jesus. That the biggest, most important thing that God ever did was die for us. That is what makes him who he is and not a god of any other religion. It is that suffering, it is that death, and that's why it warrants having the king of all mankind there when you go into a church to celebrate. And also, just in the placement of it, you're placing it right above the altar again. That's what we're doing when we go up to that altar. We're commemorating all of it and celebrating all of it. Even celebrating that. And again, that's the whole point, right? That is the closing point. Is that the crucifixion is not God's lowest. Is not God. We already, not even lowest. God at his, when he's most suffering. God in the most tragic, saddest moment. That is God in the most glorious, most worthy of celebration, most worthy of joy moment in all of mankind. If it was a greater joy to not have man sin, such would have been the case. But it was greater to have that happen. And thereby it was greater to have the necessity for an event like the crucifixion. Alright. Well, on that note, let us move into the land of Skyrim. Hopping back in there. I know we went a little bit over, but when it comes to talking about those things, you really can't, to some extent, you can't put a timer on it. And especially with how many people we have watching, editors and so on and so forth, this is not something I feel the need to absolutely cut off. There'll be times where we have shorter, with times where we have longer. You do what you can do. I don't think anyone honestly does care that much about that sort of thing. It's good to have goals, but also good to be flexible. Oh, okay, that was a lot of talking. Hey, Serena. I'll just get a moment of peace as we look at her, recenter ourselves. Oh, she's going. A second to catch my breath. Alright, we're good. You're really stuffy this time of year, so talking that fast like that and that much back to back can really give me a number. Speaking of taking a pause for a second, we need to level up. You have a chance for anyone in chat to give their opinions on what skill we should improve. We've been going just for the sake of time, and also just how I'd like to play and balance build, even on all of our stats. But when it comes to our certain perk points, what would y'all like to see? Give y'all about a minute. we are going to go with sneak. Get that one, but I think and get that. Wearing light armor, having that sneak perk, we should be pretty stealthy right about now. No. Uh-oh. She said we were going into the undercroft of the castle.
I've never even seen this part of the castle before. Be careful. I don't know what might be around.
Right. I figure be actively populated by anyone who is still sucking blood and eating bodies. Collecting skeletons, but bodes different fate. Huh. It's always odd though, right? Like blood. I suppose if it's super in there, perhaps it would stain this long enough that you could actually have like fully degraded bodies here, but like how did those bodies decompose and not leave blood there that we can see, but we can see blood down there? Like it has to be new. I haven't seen a new one in this part of the castle that would justify there being a partially eaten body. Yep, the arrow definitely came from that way. That's how physics work. I should not have skipped physics in skeleton school. Aw, what? Once again, we get cock-blocked. I mean, for some reason, having whirlwind sprint engaged. Why did I have roll? Oh, because we were in the castle and we jumped over that thing. My bad. We did just come back from a break. This is why, in real life, kiddies, whether we are driving a car, flying a plane, do a pre-flight check before you go. Make sure everything's in working order. Pick up some arrows. Ancient arrows are still kind of good at the level we're at. Probably never need them, let's be honest. Okay, that looks like the way to go. So if we want loot, we should stop on the other way. Oh. Much loot. Very wow. Hold on. Speaking of the game being stupid, the game of Twitch is being stupid right now. Yeah. Doing the same scrolling thing it was doing earlier. Be able to see chat. Thank you to everyone who's watching right now. I appreciate y'all being here. Hope that you're enjoying the stream. Some raw weapon. The more baddies. The vampires not know that they are the baddies. You know, you know. Yeah, I figured as much. Actually use that intentionally this time. Get behind them. Yeah. We learned from our last encounter that they are fast boys, and we also learned we were careful about the possibility of them sneaking up on us, so I was not surprised by that one bursting forth.
We're getting close. I'm sure of it.
If you were, well, there's a reason we're playing this for our Halloween special. Also, this is your friendly reminder to vote if you had not, to get informed about what you're voting for. Particularly recommend sites like Ground News.
Who's there?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
I knew I heard something.
Oh, he did. And he's dead too. Hi. Fight. No! Tragedy has befallen us. Boop. Boop. Neat. Which is the gargoyle that eats bodies? I don't know where that blood came from still. Perhaps we'll find someone back here as we keep going. If the game was consistent with its own logic, we could trust it to be a sign of things to come, what we saw earlier, but we can't, so we'll just have to see. Yeah, let's just knock this baby over. by changing that. There's also not a lot of space to maneuver down here. Oh, this ebony. Sweet, sweet ebony. I'm not at a level yet where we can really craft anything with that, but we will be someday. Glorious.
Who's there?
There's some real good bodyguards this place has. Very intimidating, much wow. Are you going to jump me? If you're going to, do it now, please. Okay. Oh. I try my best. Up here? No. Arrow? They are far that way. I will let my minions deal with them while we continue to loot, because that's what you do in RPGs. Fighting is the squire's job. Realistically, this would be the squire's job while I did the fighting, but sadly this is not Republic Commando. And exactly get you boys, Scorch, and so forth
Get back
involved. No, I will not get back here. I am busy, woman.
here.
I know she's not talking to me. I can't have them go around picking locks and looting chests for me. Would have been a cool feature. Maybe Elder Scrolls 6.
Show yourself.
They're right behind you. I don't think they're the ones who are having the issue here, Serrano. An optometrist, maybe in your future.
That'll teach you.
For all the talk about vampires being like the best of the best in terms of physical prowess, you think you'd have better eyesight. No, canonically they do, but perhaps in Serrana's case here, living that long in the dark might put some strain on those things.
That'll teach you.
Or just being underground, buried for so long like she was. Another gargoyle. I wonder what it's gonna do. Oh. Nothing, apparently. Okay, so we could have seen a guy up here earlier. We couldn't have gotten up there. I don't recall there being any sort of teleportation spot. I just gotta pull this and probably get my butt rocked, maybe? Yup! I shout louder than you.
Where'd you come from?
I don't even need to wait for me to be able to shout again. Shame. Would have liked to throw him off the edge. We don't need the gold. Bury it. Can I put this back down? I can for some reason. By the way, what happened to our dog, right? I don't... No idea where Schlong ended up.
Who's there? I knew I heard something.
Maybe we should rename him Peanut. You know what? No. When I end up buying a troll for a mission, that's the one I'll rename Peanut. Good job, Serrana. Oh no. Bad job, Serrana. I thought she was far enough down that she didn't get wrecked by that. Thankfully, she's an essential NPC because we're in this guy's day. Oh. Point 1. Yeah, Zukala. Thank you for following. Glad to have you here. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Welcome to our Skyrim run. Our Halloween special. Taking a stop about halfway through the main quest line to do this. And plenty of jump scares today. Ooh, looting time. A lot of fun gameplay in this DLC. Probably my favorite of all the Skyrim DLCs. I think the best designed. Story-wise, combat, even aesthetic. The Dragonborn one's pretty good too. And has a lot of throwbacks to Morrowind, but I don't know. Vampires are cool. Summation. That's my dissertation right there. Nothing else really needs to be said. This is our Halloween special. I've been asking everyone who's come on with us today. The question of, did you do anything for Halloween? Did you dress up as anything? And if so, what was it? We only have so much more we can carry, so that one's only has a 116 value. Oh man, that's a pretty good value. Oh, alright, let's see. No, I know what we have that's holding us back, so don't really have... Well, maybe Serana can carry some stuff.
We're getting close. I'm sure of it.
Yes, okay, heck yeah. I wasn't sure if she'd take our stuff this, before we have her as a full-on companion. Here we go. Alright. Now, we are in business. We will loot this entire place dry. Now I know that you'll carry things for me.
Sneakier than I thought. I wonder what she's hiding.
So this gives us the opportunity to ask her a couple questions. Right, we should do that before we move on. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, did you do anything for Halloween? Did you dress up as anything? If so, what did you dress up as? Whoa. Sorry, pardon the stutter there. I just kind of got spooked by those guys. Can I
We're getting close.
close this? No. Just
We're
open.
getting close.
I guess we already
Sure.
did. Let's see what's up here first, though. Do things one step at a time. And give us an opportunity to sneak around behind them, too. Yeah, looks like it. Might not even need to face them at all. But, girls just want to have fun. Speaking of girls, let's in this very conspicuous place stop and ask Serana some questions, because I think this is fun dialogue stuff and stuff that's actually like important
We're
to
getting
know.
close. I'm sure of it.
We already know what happened to the courtyard. We already asked her about the Elder Scrolls earlier. Oh,
Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought.
who's there?
I knew I heard
Yep.
something.
Bastard.
Ran off, I suppose.
Had to ruin my fun. I just hate when you're talking to your lady and skeletons jump you. It's all the time. All the men she told not to worry about me. Why are you fighting this guy? This guy should be on our side, shouldn't he? Trying to fight the one way behind him? But no, this guy's... What are you? What are you doing? What do you want from me? Alright. It's interesting there's a statue of Mara here. The depths. Maybe we should ask her if she knows this place. Big room. That's really cool. I wonder if this castle was not originally created by the
We're getting
vampires.
close. I'm sure of it.
Either that, or perhaps her mother was so kind-hearted that she developed a devotion to Mara eventually. Let's ask first about, the matter at hand. The matter of, we have to get to the Elder Scrolls, let's get a threat assessment. Did your mother keep the gargoyles here?
Not that I ever saw. My mother had a bit of a thing for magical constructs. Not what you're thinking. She just found them fascinating.
I wasn't thinking that until you said it. Someone earlier was asking about certain themes being warned about Edge Witch when it comes to this game. Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that wasn't what her interest was in. I can see the other kind of fascination, certainly. Plus, she said she didn't know about this place earlier, so it's weird. She says you didn't know about the gargoyles, but I guess that's consistent. But it just seems like she didn't know for other reasons, But it is what it is. The thinking. And it's important to know. The reason we ask is we need to know if anyone else has been down here. Are we at risk of discovery? Is there a potential other threat down here? Let's ask about, does she know this place?
Just assumed that the other tower was completely destroyed inside. My mother kept this a secret, even from me. She must have been up to something she thought was dangerous.
You seem to have come up into another tower she did know exists. She just didn't know about the path here. These are a couple other things that'd be interesting to know eventually, but I don't think we know them now, you know? Alright.
Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought. I wonder what she's hiding.
Cool thing, which is actually kind of disconcerting because really under the impression that I had clicked on something else. Okie dokie. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oopsie daisy. Go walk it off. Yeah, so we have no explanation for this. I guess that would be a question. Where's her family always vampires? That could lead into that. Maybe they owned this place before they decided to become vampires.
We're getting close, I'm sure. That's a long story.
I would like to hear it.
I guess we kind of have to go way back, to the very beginning. Do you know where vampirism came from?
Dragonborn either doesn't know or has a guess. And it's a very, it's a reasonable guess to have informed. So he's going to say, I would guess it came from a Daedric lord. Well, there's really no reason to guess. So I guess he could just say, I don't know much about it. Be straightforward.
The first vampire came from Molag Bal. She was not a willing subject, but she was still the first. Molag Bal is a powerful Daedric lord, and his will is made reality. For those willing to subjugate themselves, he will still bestow the gift, but they must be powerful in their own right before earning his trust.
How did you actually acquire that?
The ceremony was degrading. Let's not revisit that. But we all took part in it. Not really wholesome family activity, but I guess it's something
Thanks.
you do when you give yourself.
So was totally willing. I could say it sounds like she wasn't thinking clearly, which would be nice, but it doesn't really, other than the expression of regret, she hasn't given any indication this may be the case, and there's a lot of other reasons to regret something other than that they hadn't thought it all the way through. People don't just do bad things out of ignorance. How's it affected your family?
Well, you've met most of us. My father's not exactly the most stable, and eventually he drove my mother crazy with him. And it all ended with me being locked underground for who knows how long. It's definitely been a bad thing, on the whole.
So she does regret it. We haven't been full, always empathetic with them in the past, with Serana, her in the past. So this is a good opportunity to ask, are you alright? Instead of just going straight to the point. You're thinking about curing yourself. Kind of like the man, sympathy versus an empathy versus, oh, how about we fix it type of thing people talk about all the time. We have a time limit on these. Back to that. Are you alright?
I will be. Just give me a little time.
So, and we probably already know, if she regrets it,
Close.
she may think
Sure.
of curing herself. And we probably will be asking that to get details on how that could happen, but at this point, that empathy was more worthwhile in that case. Build a rapport, a connection. Trust will make it more easy to get to the topics at a later date. So I'm guessing what this is that her family owned this place beforehand and used to have the Shrine of Mara here, but destroyed it and, kind of abandoned this whole tower when they gave themselves over to the Daedric Lord. Yeah, when it comes to temperamental dispositions from genetics, women especially, they're thinking. Empathy is also valuable for the reason we just expressed, but they're often a lot more interested in being connected to than having the problem solved. Like, they might want to solve the problem themselves or have their own idea. They just need someone to be there with them. So sometimes, even though it may seem counterintuitive, it may be more productive. Just be empathetic about the matter. Say, hey, I get it. And ask if they're doing alright. Let them talk to you. Another sign, in those cases, it's important if you have a partner to trust them enough to be willing to, and expect them to want to help solve your problems when you present them.
I'm sure of it.
You have to kind of find a middle ground between both of those things of expecting just one or the other. It's a complementary thing. And that goes for any type of relationship. Romantic or platonic, male to female, or even female to female. Those temperaments don't always line up exactly the same, or don't always manifest in exactly the same ways, but the classic disposition that bleeds over into all those cases. You find balance. Few things are complementary. That guy's probably not going to jump us. I expect at least one of these other guys will, but maybe not. Just get ready for it. The one in the stone? That wasn't expected. Oh, okay, so there's more than one. This would be a good time. Alright. Who's this? We need backup, because the dog left us. Ethics on conjuring familiars another day. Right now we're gonna headcanon it that they don't feel pain. They are willing servants. Oh my gosh, I just killed it. Oh no. Oh no. Let's hope it doesn't feel pain. There's a lot of gargoyles right now. Alright. It's alright, we're doing alright. Alright, alright, alright. I know many words. Much wow. What the heck am I even saying? I'm mixing memes now. Alright, Serena, I need you to take over for a second. I'm gonna regen some health. But healing in one hand, and a war axe in the other. Leave my woman alone, bitch. Don't touch my girl. Especially, yeah. I'm very protective of Serena. And in fact, I am. Okay, so 2 of them aren't aggressive, but the rest were. Sweet, sweet ebony. We'd like to see. Pick it all.
I don't think we've reached the top yet. I bet there's some kind of secret passage around here.
So we want that. Absolutely. That's dope. Some royal armor. So, her mother probably is the one who left that here. Doing it again. There's really like no way I can stop this, apparently. I've tried everything now. No one's been here in a while. There's no fire going. I think there was more than 3. No. But there was at least 3.
We're getting close.
The other ones are just gonna hang out. I'm gonna trade some things with you.
Anything good?
Yeah, I'd say so. I very much appreciate her enthusiasm. Especially when you have people like Lydia. Fine, I'll carry it for you. I have to. We love Lydia. But she has her quirks, let's say.
Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought.
She says that a lot. I'd just be a fan of that fact. Hello? What are we doing here? Bruh. You gonna come down from there? I was expecting there to be a lever up there, like he would be a lever, but no, there's just like randomly a ladder to that gargoyle. What am I missing? Perhaps I have to sleep in the coffin? Silver sword. That'll be useful. I don't think that's any indication that... I forget what they're called. The Silver Hand, I think, have been here. More so that... probably the mother took that in case she needed to defend herself against other vampires. The way to go. Do we have to go down? My second guess is gonna be back off him. Yeah, any ideas? No, I'll go on. There's no way. There's no way. Hopefully not, anyways. Maybe the armor is just the loot we were meant to find, but we will try going in the coffin and hope we don't bike trap to death. Speaking of which, important precautions. Just an hour. Nothing. Okay, I guess that was it. So, there has to be something else here. Makes this worthwhile.
We're getting close. I'm sure of it.
If she has anything to say about the matter. Moment, if I can even find her. Is she? Tirana? Like I can talk to her, but she's invisible.
Sure of it.
She's gone!
If I had to guess, I'd say the moment Mother fled the castle, Father went on a rampage. Knowing him,
I wonder if it's a
anything at all
different
that
courtyard
reminded
than
him
when we
of
saw it
her
there.
was just destroyed. It appears that way. I suppose he wanted to put the past behind him. Perhaps if he had spent more time with us, he would have recognized the beauty for himself.
Very sad. If we find any more clues about her family.
There's not a whole lot to tell. You've already seen my father's obsession. My mother's not a whole lot better, but you'll see that soon enough.
Were you close with them?
My father... No, not really. I did spend a lot of time with my mother, but she saw me more like a protege than a daughter. What about you? What were your parents
Sorry
like?
about that. Oh. I have options here. I feel like this is D&D. I get to choose my own lore. I never knew them. I grew up alone. Didn't really get along. Plus, I haven't seen them in a while. I don't like that. We were very close. I can't wait to see them again. They were good people. I miss them. So there's two classics. We're going with the classic hero storyline for our Dragonborn. There's two options. One, he was set on a good path. We kind of have the Pokemon journey, or the other is that we have the Batman-like story. But I don't think this one fits either way. They were good people. So that's the Batman. So they were and they're gone. These two don't really qualify as either. But we're gonna go with this one. We're very close. Can't wait to see them again. I feel like stories need more of that. More of showing that people can be motivated by good things as much to do good things as they can be by bad things. We're very close. I can't wait to see them again.
You're a good son.
Thank you. Should be a thank you option. But we should at least respond to that, not just be disappointed.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Yeah, probably would have been more up Serana's alley if we had just said that. Oh well. And I didn't take it as like a joke, like I clapped back. I was figuring it more as humility. Perhaps she took it as such. I don't know, because I couldn't see her face, given the whole, her being spontaneously invisible thing, for some reason. We have to go all the way back and try to take a whole different direction. I don't know why we would be all the way up there if that wasn't where we need to go. Try straight, but I'm guessing that leaves where we just were, and then we can also try left. Guess we'll do both. Definitely came out of the straight before. We're gonna do left. Oh, we came up that way. Maybe I thought we did, but we didn't. That's a possibility. I think that's a real possibility. Where did my torch go? Oh, one out. Yo! Hey, Serana's back at least. Did the torch make her invisible? I feel like I forget that. Is that? I feel like that's a. Forgot that. I feel like that's a vampire lore thing. You go invisible in certain types of light. Definitely here before. So it wants us to go down that way. Why? Means of getting where you want me to go. Chat, we need help. Nothing. Got a brawling hand out. Regular pugilist. No? That way? Good. It has to be something in that room, but what are we missing? Right. Tried it. Serana, I did the exact same thing. It's out of laziness. Did I come from? Where did I go? I go. I go. No idea. Please help. Singing. Definitely follow me for music covers coming in the future, you know? Funnily enough, that's actually legit though. I do actually sing, and I probably will end up covering music because I both sing and play the drums. It's not the best music, but I think that would be a unique thing to cover on some things. While I sing for others, that'd be fun, I think. Let me know if we're interested in that. The farther down the line thing. That's the kind of thing that's going to end up on a YouTube extra channel. Probably, maybe live stream, but it's hard with copyright to be careful enough for that. How under these chains affect the thing? Whoop! Whoop! Whoop whoop! Get up. Be real. Oh, I don't want to though. I want to figure it out. You? You're not the type to get up and fight. Oh no, it's... Oh. Fine. Just thinking, this your passage type thing. Just had to take one. Your thing's here. This whole thing should open up.
I'm sure of it.
Right, so am I. Where is the trigger? No.
We're getting close. I'm sure of it.
Maybe. Apparently it was like 3 in-game hours, what we just did there. clearly. Candlestick? Oh, it's the candlestick.
Smarter than I gave her credit for.
But apparently both craftier and smarter than she thought. Yeah, as soon as we figured out it was the fireplace, it had to be a candlestick. Took my brain a second to cut that fact. I wish there was a way to close it behind us for safety reasons. There we go, we can. Oh.
It's my mother. Always smarter than I gave her credit for. Leave it to my mother. Always smarter than I gave her
Here's the
credit
voice
for.
line. So it's gonna bite us in the butt later that we don't close that behind us. Hard thing to do, especially if you have the ability to, like we clearly did. Well, okay then. It's certainly interesting place. Nice to get your opinion, Serana.
I can't even begin to imagine how much time she spent in this room. Look at this place. This has to be it. I knew she was deep into necromancy. I mean, she taught me everything I know. But I had no idea she had a setup like this. Look at all this. She must have spent years collecting these components. And what's this thing?
What thing? Oh,
I'm not sure about this circle, but it's obviously something.
right.
Let's take a look around. There has to be something here that tells us where she's gone.
What exactly are we looking for?
My mother was meticulous about her research. If we can find her notes, there might be some hints in there.
You got it. Your mother maintained quite a laboratory.
I had no idea her laboratory even existed.
Know
She
that.
had an alchemy set up in her drawing room, but nothing that even comes close to what's here.
What did she research?
Looking at the equipment and materials, it looks like she was trying to advance her necromancy.
Any idea to what
I
end?
don't know. Certainly not longevity. Kind of a waste of time for a vampire.
Right. Perhaps a
Remember
way
she
to
used
cure
keep a
it?
small journal.
Or to
See if you can dig it up.
eat less blood? Oh, that's something interesting I did want to talk about. I forgot earlier. Is I feel like it's actually equip some stronger stuff because we're kind of past the point where I need to be stealthing around. I feel like it makes sense to me that vampire could like actually exist fine in a civilized ecosystem, right? Like, as long as you didn't get a massive amount of them, but they don't really want a massive amount of themselves either, because
Keep
if they
searching
do,
her notes. She probably had a
you
journal
have-
or something.
we're eventually going to get to a point where you have way too many super powerful, hard to kill beings for the amount of food that
Keep
you
searching
have.
for her notes. She
You kind of
probably
want
had
to
a
keep it
journal or
limited.
something.
And if you do, you just have like the one or two vampires you have around in the city be the constables. And anyone who gets the death penalty is their food. Bandits, invaders, they defend the village, and they get the bodies as food for their spoils in exchange. And develops a fairly symbiotic relationship. Like, I feel like it'd actually work. Interesting, there's an elven dagger here. We know the elves been around for a long time, but it's weird that the style has remained so consistent. We want these soul gems, to be sure. Doubtless had something to do with her research. Gotta be careful what we pick up from now on, though. Daedra Harbor's a smart snatch, and so was the bigger soul gems. Rare salts are also good. Ice Wraith Teeth will be fine on that. We need new potions right now. Whoa! Okay, not literal dragon's tongue. Elf's ear. Fascinating. I wonder what kind of elf. Oh. It's just a plant. There are Falmer ears, though. Which is an interesting note, because I thought... Actually, I guess when they became... Oh. Maybe? Like, when they became vampires, there are obviously ancient Nords around. Discern that already, from both how she's talked and the kind of skeletons we come across. And And I guess in the time of Ancient Nords, they Falmer, maybe in late Ancient Nord period, where the Falmer were already kind of eaten off, but I don't remember exactly if the Dragon Wars came before or after the Nords conquered Skyrim. But I thought they were well before, and that's when canonically, the Ancient Nords were supposed to, like, stop wearing the armor, I guess. Maybe not. Because, can't remember his name right now, but the guy who came into the land of Skyrim to take it over, to claim it for mankind, or Nordkind more specifically. It's a vessel. We don't know what to do with that yet. I'll try and give some stuff to Serana. Was wearing that kind of armor. We don't know.
Keep searching for notes.
So
she probably had a journal or something.
what I'm getting at is if the Falmer exist when her mother would have been around, because Serana was locked away before the Nords stopped making the runes, right? Most likely. I suppose it's not a given, but I got the impression that the thing we found her in predated the crypt we were in. You won't take anything from me now. Crap. Is it passed off something else, I suppose? Don't we need that we have? That should cost, that should be way a lot more. But it does. We'll be fine.
She used to keep a small
There we go.
journal. See if you can dig it up.
Fine. I should start with the bookshelf. I started about talking, and here we are.
Keep searching for her notes.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense, but it's... And she probably was around long enough. We want to find the ground stuff. Around long enough that the Snalls would have had time to become Falmer. And that could explain why the dagger was around. The Thalmor didn't exist at that time. The High Elves certainly did. Balcony here. A bloody tankard. Someone's been drinking blood out here recently. Did like a vampire fly up here to do that, or what? Once again, someone has to have been here fairly recently. Yet another sign. But who? Have we not encountered them? Someone fly up here and not come to check this place out, but why would they? Other been back? My guess is gonna be inconsistent Skyrim lore. Wow! As it is, there's probably no actual explanation. Once again, it could be stained, but I already talked about that earlier. I think we kind of got our timeline straight. These guys probably became vampires in maybe the Dragonborn period. Could have very well been after, though. The Nords were first colonizing Skyrim. They were obviously been around long enough since then to collect things. The elf years. No sign of a journal thus far. Maybe I do just legitimately have to search through the bookshelf more diligently than I have so far. Nothing on the balcony. Over there, though, we kind of just trusted Serana. Suppose it wouldn't be too hard for vampire to get dwarven oil, especially if Thalmor were already around at that time. It kind of means dwarves are pretty much gone. Oh, here we go. It would have been a long time since he was here, though. Because of ruin. We found it. Alright, I'll read it. It's probably, something like this is important enough to be worth reading. 27th of last seed, which is the month for no year given. Archon's short-sightedness has become a serious problem. I've warned him time and time again that his foolish prophecy would cast far too much light on our people, and he refuses to so much as listen to a word I say. Oh. My bowels agree with her, being a subpar husband. I've become less a wife and more of an annoyance in his eyes. Devoting attention to my work is the only solace he can find while enduring his ridiculous crusade. Look, women, you have a good man. Enduring crusade is just par for the course. 20th of last seat. I've had a breakthrough today. I was able to attune the portal vessel to the soul cairn properly by using a small sample of ingredients. Soul cairn. Dragonborn hasn't heard that word before. Though the portal opened only for a few seconds, I'm confident with proper formula it can be sustained indefinitely. I feel like I'm missing a key ingredient, something of sufficient potency that can resist the forces trying to prevent my intrusion. The forces they would be. Communing with the ideal masters has proved worthless. Here we go. They speak in riddles and offer no assistance whether I ensure them a steady supply of souls or not. If I'm to escape Harkon's clutches, I need the portal open long enough to carry me away from here. Forever. Yeah. Interesting that she needed long and it was so close so quickly in her early trials that she couldn't even get through, I guess. I fear the whole point, her point indefinitely was that she might want to come back sometime. Apparently she's prepared to not willing to accept that keep it open just long enough to get away but not come back. Third of Hearthfire. I've done it. After wasting thousands of gold coins on components, I've discovered how to sustain the portal. I'm listing below without the proper amounts for my own protection. Oh, I see. So no one could come after her. But why would she even leave the components then? I guess we're cared enough about science to leave it behind, but why do you want people to scientifically figure it out, right? If that were not the case. Okay, as a secondary precaution, I combined my own blood into the formula, which would prevent anyone from being able to duplicate it following me into the soul car. Well, the answer will probably be Serana. Hopefully close enough. It normally consists of finely ground bone meal, purified void salts, soul gem shards. Kinda sad, looks like we're gonna give up some of our sweet, sweet loot. Using the proper measurements, place the above in the silver-lined portal vessel, and add blood as a reactive agent. I'll make my way into the soul cairn tomorrow after I gather my things and prepare for a potentially lengthy exile. Or she's gonna, I wonder how she's planning to make it back. Stay open that whole time. Maybe she figures she can open it from the other side and brought enough ingredients. More importantly, I must enact my plans with Serana and get her to Dim Hollow Crypt as soon as possible. I heard that her own mother wouldn't, take her along, right? Unless maybe she's counting on Serana to be able to bring her back. Let's speak to Serana about it.
Any luck yet?
Found your mother's notes.
Let me see them.
What's this soul cairn that she mentions?
I only know what she told me. She had a theory about soul gems, that the souls inside of them don't just vanish when they're used. They end up in the soul cairn.
We read the journal, so we know the answer to this question, but we have to ask it anyways, apparently. Why does she care where used souls went?
The soul cairn is home to very powerful beings. Necromancers send them souls and receive powers of their own in return. My mother spent a lot of time trying to contact them directly, to travel to the soul cairn itself.
And the ideal masters are willing to negotiate with necromancers, but for some reason not her. As she just they didn't want anyone traveling to their domain. Power was one thing, but travel was another. But if he was able to get power from them, why not perhaps ask for enough power to defeat her husband? Perhaps he had too firm of a claim that the ideal masters couldn't help. But if he had that many souls, she'd be able to raise a big enough army. But get it there, we'll find her.
That circle in the center of the room is definitely some type of portal. If I'm reading this right, there's a formula here that should give us safe passage into the soul cairn.
What do we need?
A handful of soul gem shards, some finely ground bone meal, a good bit of purified void
I knew this
cells.
too, but
Damn it.
what's wrong?
We're also going to need a sample of her blood, which, if we could get that, we wouldn't even be trying to do this in the first place.
We're to figure that out. I guess they don't always expect us to read it. You share her blood.
Not bad. We'd better hope that's good enough. Mistakes with these kind of portals can be gruesome. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get started.
I already found all the ingredients. Conveniently. I didn't necessarily entirely intend to. I knew in the back of my mind we'd have to do something. Done this before. Already found all of the ingredients.
Oh, good. Well then, let's head over to the portal vessel and I'll do the rest.
Good. Save here. Get on with it. You know, to this day, one of the biggest tragedies in all of gaming history is that they did not make Serana marryable. It is very sad. I suppose it is like, you've seen the kind of stuff that's been happening with AI recently. Maybe it's just best for everyone's safety that they can't, because they may never come off the computer. Be real. The people love you, Serana. Why am I filling this? You fill it? Anyways. Well. Hopefully we can get more later. Figure out how to craft them. If we ever decide to pick up alchemy.
Then the rest is up to me. Are you ready to go? I'm not entirely sure what this thing is going to do when I add my blood.
Apparently somebody want to ask her first. Do it. Ask you something first. Might be a chest near we go. Let's ask her something.
Of course. What is it?
What will we do if we find your mother?
I've been asking myself the same thing since we came back to the castle. She was so sure of what we did to my father. I couldn't help but go along with her. I never thought of the cost.
I wouldn't call what she did selfish entirely. I kind of know what she was thinking. I also don't know that I agree, like she did everything for Rana's sake, but maybe. It's kind of probably the closest to the truth.
Possibly. I guess even a vampire mother is still a mother. She worried about me, about all of us. But she wanted to get me as far away from my father as possible before he really went over the edge.
Won't know until we find her.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I just didn't expect anyone to care how I felt about her. Thank you. Are we ready then?
You're very welcome. I guess we don't get a chance to say we're not ready again, so Deo's fault.
Alright, here goes.
That portal open. Interesting that she bit herself instead of cutting herself.
Created a portal with a soul card. Incredible.
Better get going. Hopefully it'll close before anyone follows us. Are you coming? Oh, we have to speak to her.
That looked painful.
What is what happened? Burned.
Now that I think about it, I should have expected that. Sorry. It's hard to describe. The soul cairn is, well, hungry, for lack of a better word. It's trying to take your life essence as payment.
So there's no way in, then. I should infer that there's no way in for me. Obviously a vampire can get in.
There might be, but I don't think you're going to like it. Vampires aren't counted among the living. I could probably go through there without a problem.
So you're saying I need to become a vampire?
Not your first choice, I guess?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying there has to be another way. Fine. Probably it's a cure. That probably would have been a more rational answer than let's just not do this.
Maybe. We could just pay the toll another way. It wants a soul, so we give it a soul. Yours.
Wouldn't that kill me?
My mother taught me a trick or two. I could partially soul trap you and offer that gem to the Ideal Masters. It might be enough to satisfy them. It would make you a bit weaker when we travel through the soul cairn, but we might be able to fix that once we're inside. Maybe.
Those are my only options.
I'm sorry. I wish I knew a better way, something that would be easier for you. Just know that whatever path you choose, I won't think any less of you. Sometimes things just have to be done. I know that better than anybody.
Get a chance to put some think
Have you
about
made up
this.
your mind?
Stuff away too. So we have the ability to loot once we're there. Store. Honestly, don't know if when we come back we get a chance to come back to this room. I'm not gonna need this, but I'm not giving up my vampire royal armor. We'll be able to get some stuff to her as well. Alright. We'll settle with that. So, we have to think for a second. Right, so I think, two options. And one, you know, we kind of already covered the whole a vampire could work thing. So it's not really me objecting for that reason, especially because I feel like there probably is a cure in Skyrim. I haven't heard of one yet, but weird that I don't get a chance to ask, but maybe I just know. I know that there is, as someone who's played this game before. Really, the only question is, does this constitute giving my soul to Molag Bal? And based off of what, like, I don't think the Daedra would, in the realm of Skyrim, have the power to just, like, take someone, right? That's the kind of, basically not your religion. Demons don't just snatch your soul. They have to be given. At least, I guess at least the most monotheistic ones. Ones that take religion very, very seriously. So seriously that they have to reconcile with the whole God not just randomly damning people thing. So I would ascertain, like, if they, for example, they could bite a vigilant of Stendar, and they don't lose their soul from Stendar and it goes to Molag Bal. I don't think that's how it would work. So, since we're not becoming a vampire by pledging ourselves, I'm gonna assume that's not how that works. Realistically, I would be asking all these things to Serana before I did it, and I would choose the latter the other option if not. But assuming that, as important we become as strong as we can by when we go in there. We can either take a debuff or we can take not just like our base, though, we can get buffed by becoming a vampire. This is for the salvation of the world, so we're gonna go with that. Alright.
Have you made up your mind?
Let's ask before anything else, because I don't think we have a chance to ask it again. Try and get some intel before we hop in. Anything you could tell me about the Soul Cairn?
The Soul Cairn is a tiny sliver of oblivion, the realm of the Daedra. It's ruled by unseen beings known as the Ideal Masters.
Why was your mother so fascinated by it? Hello, Hale. Good to have you. I do not have anything for exclamation point lurk. I am sorry. I'm still working on those. We have some fun things, though. Coming in a big moment in Skyrim. Have you ever played Skyrim, Hale?
Honestly, I don't know.
Was
Necromancers
your
are
mother
always
so
interested
fascinated
in
by it?
souls, though, so that probably has some kind of interest.
I appreciate you being here. I hope y'all are having fun. I don't know if Jay's online right now. I've been so trapped in the realm of Skyrim. Dawnguard has a way of doing that to you, or more appropriately, Serana has a way of doing that to people. What exactly are the ideal masters? Let's get some intel on that. I'm thinking.
Nobody really knows. As far as I've heard, no one's seen them and returned to Tamriel to tell about it.
And how are you sure they even exist? I feel like I know the answer, but we'll ask it
I've heard
anyways.
Stories about fools that manage to communicate with them. You give the Ideal Masters souls, they give you powers to summon the undead. It's all very businesslike.
Makes sense. And looks like Jay is streaming. So shout out anyone who's watching right now. Jay, just a capital J, capital D, capital W, E _. Feel free to go check him out. He's streaming right now. A great guy. That is where I met Hales. So, you know, if you get done watching here, feel free to go check him out, or you know, finish up with us, or just leave right now. I wouldn't begrudge it to him. The guy does enough for me. Great guy. I was just reminded of that. You can check on the Discord there. Kind of have a moment. Yeah, looks like a lot of people are in there right now. So, I'm sure they're having some good times over there. And it's good to see you here, Hale. Alright, fools, why do you say that? I would agree with that assessment, but I guess we'll just consider this a genuine request for elaboration.
Because most of the stories end with the Ideal Masters duping the necromancers, who end up dead or wishing they were dead.
Just like real life. Alright, well, there is another way. Soul trapping. And back to, you know, the reference, the innuendo she made earlier, and what we were talking about, the whole marriage thing. There's no way they didn't know what they were doing here when they made being soul trapped by Serana an option. But we're not into that, or at least are more interested in saving the world, so I don't see another way. I'll become a vampire.
Sure. I'm willing to turn you, but you need to think it through. You've become the very thing you've sworn to destroy. I don't know how the Dawnguard will react.
I've already thought about it. I'm ready. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Turning someone is a very personal thing for vampires. It's intimate. For us. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you into this.
I understand. So we have one option. Flirt. Pretty obvious. I understand. This is the mature one. And let's just get it over with. Sometimes more is less, though, right? Especially when it is something so sensitive. Sometimes you don't want to be so overt about it, even if it is for the sake of being flirty. You push it too far. Sometimes, you know, saying I understand kind of encompasses this without really pushing that. Give her time to process things in her own way. Maybe have that conversation another time. I don't know. It's kind of, you know, you could Han Solo approach with that, or the other one is a more mature one, and she seems kind of the more silent, pensive type. Also, an example of the devs know exactly what they're doing. Just talking about a different kind of intimacy here. And this is also one as well.
Oh, this isn't an easy choice.
Hold on. Really, enough is not the choice I'm thinking about. On the other hand, it might not, you know, it isn't necessarily flirty.
Are you sure? I'm willing to turn you, but you need to think it through. You've become the very thing
Could just be
you swore to
empathetic.
destroy. I don't know how the Dawnguard will react. Turning
Ready.
someone is a very personal thing for vampires. It's intimate. For us. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you into this.
I actually kind of like this one, because instead of it just being like, I'm okay, it's also an attempt for me to tell her that she's okay. We're okay. Provide comfort as well as stability. Instead of just, I understand. Let's try this one. Something to think through. You know, that's what I love about RPGs. It gives you opportunity to think about these sorts of things.
Let's not waste too much time then. I promise to try and make this as painless as possible. Hold still.
Alright, I am now a vampire.
Let's go. My mother must be waiting on the other side of that thing.
Alrighty. Interested in to talk from there, so here we go.
The air, the ground, this is all wrong.
Not sure it's wrong for the soul cairn. Probably exactly what one would expect.
1,000 steps and 1,000 more.
I would what? Sorry. Look. You know, when you go through something that's stressful, sometimes you just gotta meme a little bit, right? What a fascinating place. Giant skeletons from who knows what. Like, what has that kind of... That's Stegosaurus-like thing.
I'd heard stories about the Soul Cairn, but
That
never
looks
thought
like a
I'd see
dragon
it
skeleton.
myself. So far, it's about what I imagined.
This does make sense. This would be where, like, their wings, kind of their muscles flow through these things. They're flowing through the rest that needs to be devoted to organs like it would in a normal creature. Ribcage. Casually dissecting creatures in the soul, you know, dragons while we're in the middle of the soul cairn.
Get out while you can.
Sadly, we have other business to attend to. Please.
They're watching us. Always watching.
Or why though? Like, what trouble could they get up to? Are they not permanently trapped here? What's in there? If there's any way to get it. Arrows here. Maybe that's the crypt of this woman because she's carrying a bow. Probably the case. Anyway, I'm getting through there. Can consult the map. Sad our doggo is no longer with us. Why would it not quest marker that for me? Why is with it quest markered? Like, it's not telling me where she is. That's weird. Where is Sirana? We should probably talk to her now that we're in here.
I'd heard stories about the Soul Cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's about what I imagined.
Any clues about the that was a little late to ask that. Are you sure? I don't think we should part ways. That's what more she can tell us about this place.
Just what my mother told me. I've also studied a little bit on my own.
Do you have a
there's not
gladius?
much. When something is trapped in a soul gem, and then the energy is used for powering an enchantment, the remnants are sent here.
Any soul gem?
Well, I think it's specifically the black ones.
Okay, that's
I don't
important.
know if the Soul Cairn takes just any leftovers.
Anything live here?
Look at this place. Do you think anything would want to live here? The only things that can survive here are the Ideal Masters, the undead, and the souls themselves. Well, if you want to call that living.
Right. Do you think we'll meet the Ideal Masters?
I don't think anyone's ever met the Ideal Masters. I'm not even sure anyone knows what they look like. They could be underground, flying above us. They might be the ground. I have no idea.
Why are they collecting these?
Lots of theories. Some say they feed on them like I feed on blood. Others think they use them as payment to an even higher power. Almost like a currency. A very strange currency. Whatever they're doing with them, they've been harvesting for millennia. No telling how many souls are trapped here.
Interesting name they've taken for them. Ideal Masters? Why would a necromancer...
Look around you. There are some
know
extremely
that.
powerful undead here. Even a necromancer as seasoned as my mother would be willing to spend years trying to gain access to them.
Some of them.
Exactly. It's a lost art. Most necromancers just raise up whatever bodies are nearby. A simple trick, really. Child's play. But bringing something from the Soul Cairn gives you something much more powerful.
How do
That's
necromancers
usually the
communicate with
trick.
them?
It's possible to do it through a simple portal. But to finalize the deal, you have to travel here yourself. And most of them never come back.
The screams. They pierce my mind. I can't stand it.
Yeah, anything that would look like Eye of Sauron type. These could even be the ideal masters. Or perhaps full of something. What?
Where'd you come from?
Looks so be so insignificant, it would end up as that, but still be worth being put in a black sword. Discuss these guys later. I am about to sign off. You're warned. We're doing this a little bit early today because we went so long last time, and also I do have to get going. I kind of knew that would be a case going into this, but just anything earlier, something like a 10 minutes off at this point. But yeah, alrighty. Here we are, the school, Karen. I was kind of just trying to look around there when they jumped me. Finish up. Possible those could be ideal master type thing. I am very much. This place has always fascinated me every time I played it, and I look forward to exploring it. Get to do that next we come back. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope that you've enjoyed this. It looks like we are going to have one more week of playing the Dawnguard quest line.
I think a vampire would be right at home in this place.
And I'm looking forward to doing that.
Could be wrong. Let's just find my mother and get out of here.
Alrighty. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like people have too. We gained like 3 followers today, so I very much appreciate that. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Thank everyone again for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. Over here. Alrighty. Have a good night, everyone. God bless and Godspeed. I usually say Godspeed and good night. That's what I meant. But God bless anyways. Also, remember to check out Jay. And you know he doesn't ask me to throw these things out. No one ever would there, but I like to do it anyways. Just pure gratitude. Alright. Once again, God bless and good night.